Welcome back to another episode of Objectively Bad Opinions. We're trying this for a third time today. That is why Nick is deep throating his beer glass over there. We had some technical issues. Zencaster hates me. Streamlabs hates me. The typical online presence. But we should be good this time. I think everything should be live. I fucking hope. But before we get too into the weeds on this, the views and opinions of the hosts and co-hosts on the show are that of the hosts and co-hosts and not of anyone that they are affiliated with nor the companies that they work for. That was much more smooth than the last time I tried to do it.
We had to have a smooth or a broken one to get this one working right.
There was still a little hiccup in there, but we got through it. It's fine. We're here. We are now legally covered. We can say some stupid shit again.
So, I'm Nick.
You are Nick.
That's Evan.
That's Evan. I'm Brody.
That's Brody. We're done with the intro. That's it. We're not going to go into all the sappy shit we were trying to get into earlier.
Yeah.
How was your guys' fucking Christmas? Okay.
Who's going first?
Evan, you're going.
Go ahead, Evan.
Okay. It was good. We spent it at home. Didn't see anybody or see family or anything like that. We called, relatives and stuff like that. But we didn't really. We woke up, made breakfast, opened up our gifts, and then, my dad went and watched Die Hard, and then passed out, and then woke up a little later, continued watching Die Hard.
Did he pass out due to whiskey, or was he just like, yes, Die Hard, Christmas classic, and he fell asleep? Because it's like Die Hard is not as exciting as one remembers.
This guy's wrong. Die Hard is actually pretty fantastic.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. The sequels are where you lose me at.
Well, yeah, but he bought. I don't know if he did it Christmas Day or the day before, but I think he bought a 5-part Die Hard package.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did, and I was like, the later ones are bad, right? And he's like, yeah, I think the best or the ones that kept it going were you had 1, 2 wasn't bad, and 3 wasn't bad because you got Sam Jackson in there.
Yeah,
but then 4 and 5 you can just forget about.
Forget about it.
Those weren't that good. But
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, that was no.
Christmas Vacation is still as good as I remember.
We watched Christmas Vacation on Christmas Eve.
Shitter's full, dude.
It's full. When he's putting my favorite part's when he's putting the whatever he got from work on the underside of the sleigh, the saucer, and he immediately slides down. He just shoots off like a rocket. That kills me.
Later, dudes. I love that.
Hold on, I gotta respond to us to this in the nonsense chat.
I wouldn't worry about that.
John, shut up. No, it's good. And then I played Tarkov for 9 hours, which is sounds like a mess, but during the time I was doing it, it was fun. But that's probably due to the fact that it was alcohol keeping me going.
Here's my real question to you.
What up?
Because Christmas, a lot of people, Festivus, Sol Invictus, whatever you want to call it, Christmas is misconstrued. And let me tell you why. It's not about being with your family. It's not about Jesus. It's about presents. It's about getting cool shit. Do not stop me from speaking. It's about getting cool shit. Okay? So, Evan, right now, why don't you stand that little booty of yours up and you
I feel very uncomfortable.
Your ass up and show off the fucking what kind of chair did you get? What's it called?
Hold on, let me.
I was gonna say when he sent the picture, that's some
that is a fucking Herman Miller chair.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Secret Labs is great, but that is if Secret Labs is the Mercedes of chairs, Herman Miller is the Bugatti.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. I'm really surprised you figured that out.
I got some shit from Staples, man.
My wife got me a hammer, dude.
I mean, yeah. Well, my chair history has been I had office chairs from my dad's place of work, and then I got a hand-me-down Respawn chair that he used, and then I got this. And I got this probably because he got one for himself, and then my brother got one for his birthday, and then my dad was like, well, we can't leave Evan out.
So
And then
is it like
yeah.
sitting on a cloud that also like tickles your prostate a little bit when you sit on it?
I can say without a doubt that I would not have been able to play Tarkov that entire time for like 10 to 12 hours if I had my old chair. Like I was able to play
Fucking wild.
that much because I was just so comfortable. I was just
That
like,
is so
and
wild.
yeah, it's like right now, it's like I feel lovely, you know. My old chair was kind of it was too big almost. Like I felt like I was kind of like a bucket seat, right? Whereas this still feels like like a solid. I mean, it's well made. I mean, you get the box and you just pull it right out. There's no assembly required. It literally
What?
is just yeah. The box comes and you just open up the box. You gotta push the things apart or whatever,
Yeah.
and you just wheel it right out. It's already made, ready to go. Um, got a ton of different little gizmos and stuff like that. Um, I can set like how far I lean back to a certain degree. So like right now is that it's like peak right now where I have it set at. You can pull the front out, so it has to be like the recommendation is that you put 3 fingers on the edge of the seat, and that's where your knees are supposed to be, is 3 fingers out. So
Right.
like you pull it out so you make that work. And um yeah, it's just it's impressive. You can set the resistance obvious. I mean, like all like other chair stuff, right? Like you can set the resistance of how hard you have
Really
to push
cool
back to
chair
actually
stuff.
lean back. I mean, just like I feel like just like Secret Lab stuff, it has the same thing. But and I mean, I've sat in a Secret Lab chair. I sat in Nick's, but this is
It's
yeah.
just peak comfort. Like I said, I have a
My dad,
Mercedes. You have a Bugatti.
my dad said he's like, I forget that I'm sitting sometimes. Like I feel like I'm just floating there because
This
of how
th-
nice it is.
this man goes, Am I alive?
Yeah,
Am I a
no, it's
person?
it's extremely comfortable. Um,
That's awesome, man.
I'd like to point out to our audio listeners, there's a lot of shit talking about me going on in the Twitch chat right now. I'm really hurt. I'm just reading it as I'm
I
like
don't know what it's
talking. And
all about because Evan's a good lad.
Evanescence Kawasaki, that seems both rude and offensive.
Could be
Um,
racist.
yeah,
Well,
I
we
could
were
see it that way.
in our previous take of this, we were trying to guess your middle name, and I
Yeah.
was trying to say baby, but apparently I can't type either, along with many other things today,
Like
and
speaking.
put Abby, and so now I've come to the conclusion that your name is Evan, Abby, and then some Polish nonsense.
It's better
I can
than
agree with the last part.
it's
And the
better than
first part.
what comes up when I call Evan's phone.
No.
You can't say that.
I
You
can.
can't. I don't know. Can you? All right, go ahead.
Again, I made a haha in our Discord.
Funny.
I changed my name on Discord, which a lot of people didn't think was funny, so I changed it again.
And everybody thought it was funny. I can only think of one person who didn't.
Don't fucking lie. It's funny.
It was funny.
It is. I changed my name to Anna Lee Raped. Okay? So when Evan's phone in his car says who's calling, it just says the fucking thing, and I'm like,
It says the whole thing.
so funny.
And I specifically answer so that way because she doesn't shut up. My card does not shut up when I answer the
He'll
phone.
answer his phone, and all you hear is Evan going, "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up."
Because she keeps saying who's calling. So before it was like, and this is the difficulty is that all my names for Nick on my phone have been longer names than just
And
Nick.
mean.
So yeah, like they'll say the full name and like I'll answer as soon as he calls, but she'll just keep saying incoming call from word. Press Uconnect phone button to answer, and I'm talking the whole time. I can't hear Nick, but I'm just telling her, shut up, stop talking. Why do you keep going? Like
Oh,
he
boy.
already answered. But yeah, so now I specifically answer as soon as he calls because then he and I both get to hear.
We both have a nice laugh.
Yeah, we both get to hear her say his name.
So, yeah, what else did you get for Christmas? And then what else did you do? And we'll pass it along to Brody.
I got other than this, I got I can show this. I was gonna see I got a Satriale's mug, which is a Sopranos mug.
So sweet.
That specific thing I got today was not from Christmas. And then I got this big bad boy.
I didn't realize it was that big. Holy
Holy
shit.
cow.
It is.
Oh, dude,
it is
that is
2
a
volumes.
Yeah.
Awesome spine.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
you're getting old when you're like, the spine on that book is amazing.
It's a nice
mean, the whole-
spine.
It
The
fucking
whole
is.
book is just
Wow.
fantastic. They almost fell out.
That is
Um,
really fucking cool.
Yeah. Not only does he go over every song that he's ever written, but I don't know. My dad and I were both questioning like who collected the stuff, who held on to it. Every single one that we've read, like because he grabbed like
the book.
He grabbed the first volume and I grabbed the second, and then we were both reading through them, and then I'd be like, "Hey, play this song," and then he'd play the song, and we'd read about it. They have all the original journals and papers that he wrote the lyrics on in the book. Like they copied them
really?
and post. Yeah, so like you look and you look up "Get
Say
Back"
Hey Jude.
or
Yeah,
or
whatever.
"Let It Be." You know, And I haven't actually looked at "Hey Jude" yet. I've looked at "Let It Be." I've looked at "When I'm 64." Why don't we do it in the road? Maybe I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Two of Us is really good, and Two of Us is fantastic. Reading about that song because you hear it and you think it's about John and Paul, but it's actually about Paul and Linda. And
Oh shit! Really?
what they would do is they
Wow.
would go and just drive forever. They would just go driving around, and he's like, one time we found this little patch of forest we thought would be a good walk in, and Linda McCartney was a photographer. She was a professional photographer, so she was always taking pictures and stuff, and she's got a picture of Paul McCartney sitting on the side of like his Aston Martin playing the guitar, and that's him singing and writing the lyrics to Two of Us. So it's like you not only get to see him in the moment of him writing it, but you get to see the paper that he's written it on, and the stories behind every little thing. The whole story behind "Why Don't We Do It in the Road" is he when he was in India with the rest of the Beatles, they saw two monkeys doing it in the road, and you turn the page, and I shit you not, they got 4 pictures of the monkeys doing it.
That's awesome.
It's like they got pictures of everything. It's the funny thing is that they didn't document it knowing it would be as big as it was. They just
Yeah.
did it. They just documented everything because they wanted to remember everything. And now we get to remember. My dad was like super. He was like, "Don't ever lose anything about this book. Like you need to hold on to this because this is so rare to be able to look into one of the best singers, songwriters, musicians of the 20th century and just read all about everything he's done. All the songs he's written. Songs in there that were never recorded.
My super unpopular opinion that's probably going to make people hate me is I don't care for the Beatles or Paul McCartney. I respect what they've done, and I respect
That's the important
obviously the work of it, but
That is
I
good.
just cannot like if I'm going to sit down and listen to something, I can't sit down and listen to the Beatles or Paul McCartney. I respect
have
the
Disney
hell out
Plus?
of them, right? But
And
What's
that's
that?
the important bit, right?
What Evan said is correct too. Like,
Yeah.
I've known a lot of people who are like, especially in like the metal scene, who are like, I hate this band, I hate this band, I hate this band. I'm like, that's fine, but like, you do realize without this, this, and this, there is
You
no
wouldn't be
this,
here.
this, and this,
right,
Right.
you wouldn't be doing what you're doing currently, right?
and it
And
all
that's-
goes back to blues and jazz and all that shit.
Yeah, and it goes
But-
way further back, like you're saying, for sure.
Do you have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Watch Get Back,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
dude.
I'll
Like,
watch
Again, it's one of those. It's
see,
one of those things where you just get to.
you get to
there's
be
no,
there with the Beatles.
Right.
The nice thing about this documentary is there's no talking heads, right? There's no interviews. It's literally the beginning, like the first 10 minutes is just kind of leading you up to the moments of them recording it. And everything that is told about the story is just told through subtitles.
Yeah.
And then it says, okay, here's the day. It's January 3rd. It's a Wednesday. Here's the footage and audio we got that day. And you go through 3 weeks of them doing that. And it's just incredible. You just get to sit and watch. Paul McCartney figures out Get Back in 5 minutes. The song that is huge
Yeah.
took
Is-
him that long.
Is this? I didn't finish the show, but this is all a big
did I.
lead up to their rooftop concert, correct?
Yes, and the rooftop
On top of
concert is
Apple
shown.
Records?
It's shown in its entirety, yes. All
'Cause that
30,
footage-
40 minutes.
Was not shown previously. The only footage that we have now is up until this is "Don't Let Me Down," correct?
I think so. Before this film came out, it was you just had like little bits and pieces of the rooftop concert you could find on YouTube, but now with the documentary, you can watch the entire from them walking up and setting everything up all the way to the end when they're told, "Hey, you got to stop," which is hilarious because they were like the biggest band at this time, and it was just a couple people that were like, "Hey, they're being really loud." And the
Well, could
police officers came up and were like, "Hey, we need you to stop." And it's
The
like, you know
Bobbies.
who you're talking to? Like,
Could you- Could you imagine being on the ground, like in the street, and all you hear is fucking, like
Them
back then
jamming.
especially, just like what's happening up there, and you're like, how do I get up there? And it's like you can't, and I'd be like, come
you
on.
go to the next roof that you can find that
Yeah,
that's like you
exactly.
could see from. And that's what people did. They just went up to rooftops across the building and
Oh, are
they
you
would just
serious?
sit and watch. Yeah,
They just,
there's
like, went around
there's footage of
London?
that.
Climb up
Trying to
there's
get up.
footage of that.
escapes and
Yeah, they
That's-
just tried to get up there and see what was going on. But all of this really brings me back to is how much I want to buy an Xbox 360 and play the Beatles Rock Band, because I played that for the entire summer in my basement when it came out. I played everything. I played the drums. I sang everything. I got 5 stars on every damn song
You know what we got to
like-
do now, Brody.
and everything. That's my birthday gift. If you
Listen
could do
up.
anything, that would be it.
We'll make this happen. I'm making a promise right now. We will make this happen, Brody.
it should be backwards compatible too, so you should be able to play it on whatever.
No, you can't.
That one's
because
not?
it's all
Yeah.
it's all licensed from them.
Oh, that's
so
right.
the license only lasts for 360. Yeah.
You know what we're gonna do, Brody?
Hmm.
We're gonna make content out of this.
Oh,
We're gonna get hit. Listen up.
Get
we're
him
gonna
plastered and get him to sing Beatles
Yes.
songs, right?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just, it's gonna be Evan singing "Hey Jude," and he's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
couldn't.
crying because that song gets me
Crying.
though. It
Yeah.
does get me. That
Oh,
that
yeah.
song gets me. 'cause, like
I love the song, but I don't. It doesn't get me the way other songs
it makes
do.
me sad because it's about Julian. But
Name
anyways,
dropping people.
Julian Lennon, dude. Anyways, it does make me sad. But get Evan really drunk. Surprise him on his birthday. I'll even get Brody and Jeff to come up to Michigan. Give him the Xbox 360. Give him all the instruments, and we'll just record Evan just going, "Don't let me down," just wasted.
What I've learned through my studies in school is that I can only sing somewhat well in something like that where I have something to, like, my brain can go, oh, I recognize where that's at. I can match it. But if
Yeah.
like in school, when my teacher was like, hey, I need you to sing in this key and I need you to do like, do re mi fa sol la ti do, I would do it. And this is a guy, I told Nick this, I think I might have mentioned it on the show before. This is a guy who has taught music for like 30-40 years, and he goes, say do, like sing do, and I start singing do, and he goes, all right, he's like, I'm on the piano, I'm gonna find your note, like where your starting note is at. He could not find it.
Your teacher.
He could not find my note. This guy who's taught music for 30 years. He's like,
Gosh.
he looked at me and he's like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't find it. And I was like, I don't know what to like. Is that possible? How is
He
that
goes-
possible?
He goes, "You know what, kid? Give up."
Yeah.
stop.
Well, I mean, yeah. For my final singing thing, I got a C on it, which is fine because I got a 100% on the final itself. So
So
I
they
still passed.
make you sing.
In front of the
They
class.
have you. Yeah, we had to sing in front of
Really?
like you didn't have to get up and stand there in front of them. You just could sit at your desk. But like,
No way.
so you think that's hard? Wait till you have to conduct in time while you're doing it. So you have like you're reading something that's like 3 measures and it's a half note and 2 quarter notes or something like that, and it's in 4/4 time. So not only do you have to sing up and down or like jump
Yeah.
between notes, you
You
have
also
to
look like
do
you're
a-
having a fucking seizure.
you would only do one hand. We never learned anything like that.
Oh, you
but
never
would just
learned
go-
both?
No, you would just we learned just like simple patterns of like, so this is, for instance, 4/4 time is down, left, right, and then back up.
Yep.
And then like 3/4 is down, right, left. 2 is down, right, up and down.
Yep.
But like, so that's hard. Like singing was hard enough, but like when you have to combine your arm moving with it, it made it even more difficult. Like it was just I failed every single one of those because I was just so bad at like coordinating my brain to do it. But
I
Yeah.
love that Nick was like shivering about singing in front of people when he was literally the front man for a band.
Let me say this. Doing what I was doing was a lot different than what Evan had to do.
This is true.
Because
You-
I
I
was
mean, that's
always
fair.
in
Yeah.
front of a decent sized crowd. I was in front of the small crowd would be 25 people, a big crowd was 250, 300 people. And it was just me going up on stage at that point,
It's a lot less
trancing out.
personal.
No, it was very personal. It was very,
Well, I mean,
very
like
personal.
for
with me.
Evan, he's
But-
in a room
He's in a
with other people that
small-ass
are
room.
also studying music.
right. Like
and-
you're studying music. I was just in a like
bro,
the most
You-
personal. Wait, what, Evan?
I was gonna say, like, I agree with what you're saying, and like Brody said, where you have people studying music, you don't go first, and you hear the chick next to you who has like an opera voice, and she does it flawlessly, and you're like, oh shit,
At that point,
I'm
it's like
making
I should
new
just
notes.
fuck myself.
yeah, like,
But like no, yeah. For me,
I
like,
should have done that. Like, he couldn't find my note. I'm pretty special.
the smallest shows we played that were quote unquote intimate were basement shows, and even that had like 50 to 60 kids in it in a basement. But like that is, I'm able to just go wild, right? When I was playing shows, I was able to lose my mind on stage.
Clearly.
I would bash my head in with microphone, shit like that. Doing it in a school in front of people, it's going do re mi do. Like, you know,
Just
I
like
can't do
that.
that shit. Just like that. All time. Anyways, guys, back to Christmas. Then we'll go into more
Christmas.
topics. Christmas. Evan, is there anything else you wanted to talk about your Christmas? And then we'll go into Brody. We'll go inside of Brody.
Excuse me.
Oh, shit.
You heard me right.
On this
Not
episode, huh?
not super
Yeah.
particular. No, I got some pretty nice stuff, and like, but yeah, I mean, the biggest things for me were obviously the chair, the Paul McCartney stuff. I really like the Satriale's mug. I used
Book is
it.
so nice. I'm
I
sorry.
used it on no, you're fine. I used it on Christmas. Yeah, I got clothes and other stuff like that. It's actually kind of a haze to remember everything that happened in the morning. My brother and sister got some cool stuff. My dad got his posters. We got him 5 posters.
Which are all sweet.
From a place called Sand Grain Studios on Instagram. They're pretty cool. If anybody is interested in posters of your favorite TV shows for friends or family or yourself, check them out. They're really cool.
We're not sponsored by them.
We're not sponsored by them, but they're a pretty cool place, and so check them out. We got a big old fashioned poster of like a cool little artsy modern way of showing an old fashioned drink, and
That's
then
cool.
my mom and I were like, we figured you put that in the middle somewhere, and then on the left and right you put the 2 and 2 of what we got you for stuff like that. So we got him a Sopranos one, a Mad Men one.
Did he
and
watch
then
The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's rewatched it like 3 or 4 times.
What a madman.
Yeah, so we got him a Sopranos poster, a Mad Men poster, which I feel like those should go on the same side, not only because they're so similar in their drama, but they're also written by the same people here and there.
Yeah.
And then on the right, we got The West Wing and Seinfeld, which I feel like those go together because they can be a little bit more lighthearted with some of their stuff. I mean, Seinfeld is just nonsense, but like The West Wing also has its funny episodes and funny comedy to it. But yeah, I mean, that was it. I mean, I'm interested to hear what Brody's Christmas was like, and I have an inkling of what yours was like, Nick, but we'll go into that when we get to you last.
Yes, sir. He had to preface the last.
Last.
Brody.
So my wife got me a new smartwatch. I usually keep good track of like workouts and things like that, and my Fitbit was a giant piece of shit and fucking didn't work. Would cut out in the middle of a workout. If it got below like 50%, it would die. Like,
Oh,
but
good.
I keep track of like my steps at work and stuff like that too.
Nice.
So I was she got me the Galaxy 4 watch, which is fucking
Oh,
awesome.
sweet. Hell yeah.
And big fan of it. Really enjoy it. Tracks my sleep. Also tracks how much I snore, so she can tell me like in the morning, like, you fucking snored way too goddamn much last night.
Hey,
Now you can't
Brody,
even lie.
Brody,
Right.
you almost died in your sleep last night.
Yeah.
Shut up, Amber. No, I didn't.
No, definitely didn't. Yeah, no, it definitely did. Because looking at it this morning, I'm like, yeah, no, it pretty much was like, you probably didn't breathe as much as you did breathe. Like,
Big pop up on Brody's thing goes, congratulations, you have sleep apnea.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. And then I got a new mouse, which I was really excited about. I finally got a wireless mouse. So,
What'd you get?
The Arctis Rival 3. So this guy right
Nice.
here. Huh?
That's
Fucking A,
great.
dude.
I
Those are good, nice.
I had a Razer mouse that was fine, but the reason I got it is because it had all the MMO buttons, because I was still playing MMOs quite a bit at the time. And I don't really play MMOs very much anymore. So I was like, I'm kind of ready to get rid of this and go wireless, and it's just nice, right? So that's what I did, and absolutely love it. And because we did Christmas a little different this year, where we did drawings with both my family and my wife's family. And so everything was like, instead of, everybody swapping Amazon fucking gift cards, we used Elfster. And with Elfster, you could go in and actually like put in things that you want and pick them out from there. So one thing I put in here was this mouse, and that actually came from my father. And then the other thing I put in there was a new computer case. Because my computer was a pre-built, which I made that mistake, and because I was too scared to do it myself, and I thought I was gonna fuck it up. Turns out, definitely can do it, not a problem at all. But the problem I did run into is I went to transport everything over in my computer case, scratched the absolute shit out of my desk because I didn't put anything down, and turns out my motherboard does not fit in this computer case.
No.
Yeah, so I had been, for the last couple years, I've been saving Amazon gift cards because I wanted to get a new GPU eventually when it came around, right? And then I can buy it guilt free, like not feel terrible about spending a bunch of money on a GPU, right? Well, turns out instead I ended up buying almost everything except for the GPU for my computer to completely rebuild it.
Okay, so you got new RAM, you got a new motherboard, you get a new CPU?
I haven't gotten new RAM yet. I have some sitting in my Amazon cart that I'm going to buy at some point, but I got a new motherboard, I got a new cooler, I got what else did I get?
Did you go AIO or did you just go Air?
Just Air.
Okay.
I didn't want to get too crazy with it because, again, this is kind of my first like real build, I guess, at this point, and it's a lot of transporting. So,
addictive.
Yeah, and this new case has the glass on the side, so I can actually get in there and fuck around with shit without having to get crazy with it. So, I definitely have some more RAM that I'm going to end up putting into it at some point. But I don't know why, but I'm entirely drawing a blank at what else I ordered. I got a new
power supply.
Yeah, the power supply was another big thing that I got. So that's kind of where I'm at. I pretty much went through. The only thing I didn't really replace was the CPU and the GPU. And that will come at some point, but GPUs are still too fucking expensive and
impossible to buy.
And CPUs are kind of high right now too. So my CPUs,
silicon.
Yeah, my CPU's holding on all right now, so I'm going to kind of wait, but I wanted to upgrade the power supply so I was ready once I did kind of actually end up going into everything else. But this was like a pre-built HP, right? Like, so it was bare bones. I don't even think it was Omen. Like, I don't even think Omen was around when I bought this fucking thing. So it's at least a few. I think I bought it in 2018, and it has it has like the RX 580 in it, which is
you're running an AMD graphics card.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went through and I found an awesome app on look at him. He's judging the fuck out of me.
I'm
laughing
at how he went. He went, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with AMD.
I'm not the hardcore PC gamer like you guys, right? So
don't worry, we're gonna convert you over in no time.
Dude, I don't even play video games on computers anymore,
that shit's fucking expensive, man.
I play on my GameCube.
Yes and no. Once you finally listen, man. Once you finally get a computer that's rolling, and you're able to just a big bool on it. Every 5 years you upgrade, bro.
Which is still more than a console.
Depending.
Look at him. What do
you want me to say? Go fuck yourself.
You have beaten him into submission.
But anyway, I will. All my parts are supposed to come in tomorrow, so I will be assembling a computer, hopefully without fucking it up tomorrow, and get everything transported. But I had this thing fucking tore apart like 3 or 4 times because I ran into a couple issues when I put everything back together.
Oh, you tore the bitch apart, ready to go?
Yeah, I had everything apart, and I went to put my motherboard in there. I go, oh fuck, that doesn't fit.
What size case is it? Is it a micro or a mini?
It was for a micro or a mini, yeah, depending on what you're looking at. I think it fits both the the micro ATX and the mini
fit a micro,
ITX.
Yeah.
But the problem is mine is, again, that bullshit default motherboard that came with it and the bullshit default power supply that I can't even get any numbers off of to figure out what the fuck it is because it's just some HP bullshit. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade everything around the CPU and GPU, and then I'll come back to this later. So
makes sense.
Everything else should, be pretty good, future-proofed and everything going forward, but eventually I'll upgrade everything else. But there's plenty of room for expansion of memory and all that as well. What's up?
Well, did you make that we're not a tech podcast? We'll talk tech on this show.
Yeah,
but now we have to. With the motherboard, are you AMD or are you Intel?
AMD.
Okay. Did you make sure that because I'm assuming you're not on Ryzen. You are on Ryzen.
Yeah, everything is AMD.
Right, but is it first gen Ryzen? Right. So like,
I ran it through a PC parts picker to make sure everything was compatible. Everything
Okay,
should
cool,
be good.
cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen people do it. Like, well, I have I have a black Vishera from AMD, and I bought a Ryzen board, and it's not working for some reason. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. No, everything's Ryzen. Everything
Cool,
should be
okay.
good. Like I found an app on my phone. I mean, aside from, the normal PC part picker website, shout out to them, I guess. But there was an app that I found, and you could plug
Not
everything
sponsored.
in there. And I mean, they can sponsor us if they want.
I'd cry.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But the app I
Did you
found
guys
was
get us
actually pretty good
3080s?
too. What's that?
Yeah, could you get us 3080s, please?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sponsor us?
Sponsor
yeah.
us and 3080s, and we'll fucking
We'll
plug
just
the
talk
shit
about
out of it, right?
Just like Baldo. Send us a couple Baldos. We're good.
I will.
Did
I
Amber
would
buy
actually-
the Baldo?
No, she didn't.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Traitor. Wild.
But,
yeah, no.
yeah,
Nick
that
is
was-
Nick is totally judging you.
Oh,
Sorry,
I know.
didn't
I
mean to
know
interrupt.
he is. I said AMD,
No,
and he's
I
like,
am
you
not.
fucking peasant.
You are,
I'm
bro.
on AMD.
You're literally you're making him feel bad right now. You're
Oh,
doing
I
it
know.
as
I
we
have
speak.
Ryzen.
I'm just proving. You're just proving my point.
No.
What?
It's-
What point?
He's just confused.
Again, you're
I'm
hurting my
just
point.
excited to be able to actually access my PC without having to take like all sorts of bullshit shielding and like extra bullshit off of there. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked. I didn't put all the stupid RBG or RGB shit in there. Sorry, no offense to you
Spilled
guys,
whiskey
but
all over myself.
when
No,
you have to
whatever.
spend twice the price just so you can make it light up pretty colors, I was like, nah, fuck that.
My
Right.
computer goes real pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, mine does not, but it also has never done it in the past, so I'm good. I'm gonna pay half the price and get double the value out of it and be good. So,
Yeah, it'll
but
be fine.
that pretty much sums it up for me. I mean, it was some computer shit and a new smartwatch, and pretty stoked. Oh, I got a
Nice.
massage gun too. Huh?
Oh, nice. Those are cool.
Oh, is it the one where you just like hit the button on the bottom and it goes?
Yeah. It has
Wait, I
all
got
sorts
that.
of different tips and shit on it. Yeah, it's
yeah, those are cool.
Ooh.
there's one that's called a Goldfinger. Not gonna lie.
Is it just like the? Is it like the
It's
triangle looking one?
It's kind of like flat like that.
I wonder what that's for.
It's supposed to be for your spine, I think, but I
Make
definitely
sure it's on
did
lowest
ask if it was
setting.
for the asshole.
Make
You
sure it's
two
on
are-
low setting. You gotta work yourself up to that setting. You know what I'm saying?
You two are nonsensical.
Yes. Yes. You gotta milk the prostate.
This,
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus.
We're not that old yet.
You're getting there.
Like, fuck you.
Also,
You got 20 years.
a side note. So my wife's birthday was yesterday, and I finally got to go
Birthday,
see
Amber.
Spider-Man. So that was her choice, not mine. By the way, just throwing that out there. I didn't strong arm her into going seeing
I did not
Spider-Man.
strong arm my wife.
Right? Like that was her choice. But I think she had a good. It was weird. So for her birthday this year, birthday and Christmas, I went like really heavy on like esthetician shit because that's what she's going to school for, skincare, right?
Yeah.
I went real heavy into like some of the more expensive items that she was gonna have to buy down the road that she put onto her Amazon Christmas list, and I feel like I kind of fucked it up. She didn't seem super stoked about it. So
Dude, I'm sure Amber's happy with whatever you got her.
I'm still holding on to the fact that he's like, I didn't strong arm her, and all I could picture after you said that was she's like, I don't want to go see Spider-Man. He's like, we're going to see it.
we are going to see it
Happy
before the shit
birthday,
gets spoiled
Amber.
for me. God damn it.
Happy
Yeah,
happy
that's what he's
birthday,
like,
Amber. We're
Amber.
seeing Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's all through gritted teeth. He's like, she's like, I don't want to go see it. Amber, if we don't see it, I'm gonna get spoiled, and that's not gonna happen.
I'm
No.
going to see her cat.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah, literally
threatened
same
many of
energy.
people about spoiling that movie for me. Like, do
I
not
don't blame you.
fucking say shit. Just fucking shut up.
Before we
Oh,
go into
Nick?
my Christmas,
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry.
can I, if you spoil movies just because you think you're a ha-ha guy,
Like the guy I sat next to when I saw
like the guy
Spider-Man.
you, yeah, did you tell on the last episode or no?
No,
I didn't. I forgot.
You're telling it today. If you do spoil movies, you deserve a very cold ice pick to be inserted into your urethra and twisted,
What if they don't have one?
then up in your vulva.
Wait, does everybody have a urethra? I don't know.
Everyone has a
a
urethra.
I'm
Everyone
a
has
fake
urethra.
doctor, but we're gonna pretend that I knew that answer.
It's bullshit.
Okay?
Do not spoil movies. Just don't spoil movies. How hard
Don't
is
do
that?
it. Don't do it.
It's
Like,
not
I mean,
cool, man.
on
Just let
on
people
accident,
enjoy.
I can do it. I can, or not do it, but I can understand maybe because you don't think about it at the time.
You get
But
excited, right?
I will bust your balls as we know a specific person who spoiled a specific video game for a good friend of ours, and I tried to make it abundantly clear without just saying it, and I probably should have just said it, but I tried to make it clear as like, hey, he hasn't played this game yet, and I said it in multiple formats like that 5 times, and then he just says this
Oh,
climactic event in the game, and
big
our
event
friend
too.
your brother Lucas just goes, Noah. And I was like, dude. He's like, what? I'm like, I said in multiple formats, multiple ways, probably different languages, that this guy has not played the game yet, and you just told him the biggest piece of it. He goes, oh, well, you should have played it. And I'm like, that's worse when you don't even
Yeah.
apologize. Like,
When-
that's rude. That's
Oh.
rude.
When
That's
Infinity
bullshit.
War came out, I went and saw that shit like second day.
I think
I was like,
I think I
there's
saw it
no
opening
goddamn
day,
way
yeah.
in hell this is getting spoiled for me.
I saw it
But
opening
anyway.
weekend for sure. I didn't wait.
We were Jeff and I were in a party with one of our buddies, Craig. We shit on him on Diggity all the time. We were sitting in this party and Craig goes, "Hey man, I just got back from Infinity War." I was like, and Jeff instantly shuts him down. He's like, "Don't fucking say shit. I haven't seen it. I'm going to see it tomorrow. Don't say anything." And Craig's like, "Yeah, I thought it was pretty good." He's like, "I won't spoil it or anything." He's like, "I just kind of hate how they killed off Spider-Man." I go, "What the fuck? The fuck did you just do?"
Did you shank him?
I did not, but I'm pretty sure Jeff wanted to because I had already seen it. Like I had seen it like the day before or something like that. So I was like, "What? He just fucking told you 4 seconds ago, like, don't spoil this." And he's like, "Yeah, I can't believe how they killed off Spider-Man." You're like,
Do you think
"Craig,
Like-
what the fuck, man?"
That was on purpose. That was
Do you
on
think
purpose.
people have like misconceptions or like misunderstandings as to what spoiling is? Like some
Mhm.
people go like, because like I preface it usually. I try to say like I don't think this is really a spoiler. It's pretty minor detail, but here's what happens here, and like that's where I try to do my best. Is like because I know what it's like to be spoiled, so I'm always pretty good about it. I never spoil things, and I keep things very close to the chest when it comes to stuff like that. Like I didn't spoil Spider-Man for anybody. I told Nick about it, but Nick said straight up beforehand, he goes, I'm not going to probably see this for a while. You can tell me whatever you
I
want.
don't have the time. It's unfortunate,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, so you were like, go ahead and tell me because I'm interested, and I was thankful for that because I was like, I can actually talk to somebody about the movie with. And now more of the people in Discord have seen it. Obviously, Jeff has seen it. You've seen it now, Brody, so I can talk about it with people.
Yeah. I
And to
also don't-
we got to look at it. How long for this movie? Because you and I have seen it. We can talk about it real quick before Matt or Nick goes into his Christmas. I'm sorry, we keep interrupting.
Dude, I'm so good.
But like, how long do you think for this specific movie? How long do you think there should be a timer on before we can talk about everything that happens in it? Right,
months.
that's my question. 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Because you let it. You
That's
let it
8
get.
weeks.
Dude,
you
it
let it
came
go
out
through
right
theater.
before Christmas.
You let
Yeah,
it go right through
everybody's
theater.
got free time. Nobody's got families.
I'm not okay. Okay, I'm not saying you should go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, did you see Spider-Man?" They go, "No," and you go, and you fucking.
Well, no,
yeah.
I'm not that guy. But
Yeah,
like for
exactly.
instance, how long do you think Sony and Marvel should keep quiet until they like? Because like I sent you something,
with their
Nick.
social media shit and all that.
Because I sent you something about like what they're planning or what's supposedly planned for Doctor Strange 2 and
With a certain character. Yeah.
yeah, so like how long can they keep doing that for? And then people like what I mean? Like you got to really look at. I mean, this is yeah.
I almost don't think it's the studios. I think it's how long can you keep people down?
Yeah.
Because once people start fucking going and going and going, it
Sure.
almost like strong arms the studio to go, fine, like, yes, that's there. Please shut the fuck up, though.
Yeah.
I also
But, like,
don't.
You know?
I really. Everybody was talking, like, hey, don't make sure you don't get spoiled for this. I thought it was pretty predictable. Like, I really enjoyed the movie, but it was predictable as hell.
So
With the little bit of like shit they already did show off in trailers and stuff, you could kind of have a pretty good idea what was going to happen, except for the very, very end.
I guessed a couple things with Evan.
you guessed a couple things, but the thing with that is that so while some things were super predictable, it's one of those things where you see things on trailers, right? Or you see things that aren't there in trailers that you want to be there or whatever. But it's not until you see the movie that you're actually it's
Blown away.
100% truth to you that it's
Yeah.
there, right? Like I got spoiled the day before we went and saw it. And I was pretty upset about it, but because of what I was spoiled with, I was more elated than excited because I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is real." But in my head I was still going,
Yeah.
it might not be though. This might just be a really good this, and this, right? This might just be something completely different. You know, I might not have any clue about it. And then I went and saw it, and then when I saw the scene I got spoiled with happened, I was like, or like even before that scene, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
What I have always wanted has happened, right? Like, you know, I'm
Right.
just super excited now. So like, you know, but like that's the thing, and like I would say honestly, what they were doing with this movie was in a way bigger than Endgame. Like,
From what I'm hearing, I think so as well.
I mean, it's broken. The top 3 opening weekends for movies now are Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, absolutely. Spider-Man No Way Home is still breaking records.
Yeah,
it's
well,
crazy.
they're the only, or like one of the only 2 movies to break like 300 or 400 million or
I
something
thought they
like
were
that
at
in opening
500
weekend.
million.
Or I think it was well, no, it was 500 million or whatever. Like they're the second movie ever to get that kind of amount without
Yeah.
China. Like that means the rest of the world made up for that. Like
Being
that's just
chilling, bro.
dog. It's just that's just the movie was great, like Brody said.
Yeah,
But,
it was. It was really good. Really had a great time watching it. But
2 months feels a bit longer for me. But
Mm.
I can hold my spoilers though, right? Like I don't have to.
Evan's good about that shit. He won't do it. He won't spoil for people.
Well, because I know what it's like when you get spoiled. Especially like movies are different, I'd say. But like when you're watching a show and you've got like 7, 8 seasons to watch, and then somebody says the ending, and it's like like
Oh, I'll shoot you in the
What?
face.
well, because now I'm invested. So now I have to watch the rest of it, but now I know the ending. So all I'm going to be doing while I'm getting to the end is piecing how things fit together, right? Like I was never spoiled with the ending of The Sopranos, right? I was never spoiled with the end of Mad Men. I was able to keep on to those things, but I was spoiled for other shows that I really liked. And then
Which
so
is a
now
bummer.
it's like it happened when I was younger, so now it's like it's my superpower where I just have the power to not spoil anything for anybody, and I'm extremely good at keeping my mouth shut when it comes to movies, TV, books,
I
whatever.
I also have the worst memory in the world though. So I can watch a
You're
trailer
lucky.
and then eventually go and watch the movie and forget all of that happened in the trailer. But for whatever reason, Spider-Man stuck with me. And then if sorry, if somebody spoils like a series or whatever, by the time I actually get to the end of it, like
Yeah.
I'll forget about that until I actually see it start to happen. And that's when it'll finally click in and be like, oh shit, that's right. This happens here.
Yeah, I saw like one of a major character's death in Game of Thrones when I was like 5 years or like 3 years before I watched the show, and I remembered it the entire time.
Is it
So
really
it's like
is it really a spoiler when like 90% of them die anyway?
no, bro, the show.
I haven't
sucked,
even watched
but,
the
like,
fucking thing.
The show.
Wait, in
sucked.
what? What show?
Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
Here's the thing: is that
Your
the
cousin
6th
fucking in that show, I thought.
that
Yeah.
was the whole reason a friend of mine
Roll
tried to
Tide,
get me
baby.
and another buddy into it.
Yeah.
Like me and my buddy were like, we're not watching it because we're tired of people telling us you have to watch it. You know,
Well, like,
it's one of those
boobs.
things where it's like
Yeah.
you don't want to, like, you have to watch it. It's so good. But our buddy was just like, a bro and sis have sex in the first episode, and we were like, what? They showed that on HBO,
dog.
and they were like, yeah, and we were like, oh my gosh.
HBO
And,
shows everything at all times. They don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean,
then
yeah, they don't.
One of them
but-
falls
but,
out
like,
the fucking window, right?
There's a
that
little
kid-
dumb kid, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
that
pushed out the
freaking-
window.
he's the worst written character of the last season. Anyway, the point being is that
Fucking
like
cripple.
while the show itself and its run might have been good, when those last 2 seasons came out, it was like, dog, you guys literally just you failed. You
That's
failed.
because
You
the
failed.
good
They-
writer actually fucking stopped writing.
Well, that's because they ran out of the damn books.
Because George R.R. Martin ran out of fucking dominoes.
He's
He
too
ran out
busy
of
putting
breath.
his name all over Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Don't give me oh.
he yeah
Hold
no,
on, a
get
but,
me
video
like,
started.
game talk here. My bad.
we
We can still bring
We,
video games
yeah.
up. Whatever.
we just the Game of Thrones was like, while it might have been good, when they ran out of material and like they talked to him, they talked to George Martin Arthur Conan Doyle's, and they said, you know, that cracked Nick up.
That was good.
But like you know, they tried to get like his ending for the novels, and they kind of just put it together like a poorly done, like a melting pot. They just kind of took a whole bunch of stuff and threw it in there and said, "All right, we'll go with this." And then, but then they just failed at everything. Like they were as bad as writing that as some guy who was writing what's the end of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, the ninth one.
Yeah.
Some multi-million-dollar paid
Something like that.
filmmaker screenwriter said, "Bring Palpatine back."
Yeah. Because
Like, what?
money.
But like he gets paid that much to come up with that shitty of an idea. Like that was the most boring thing I could have. Like anybody could have written that. I could have written that. And I'm a Muppet. Like
You're not a
What?
Muppet.
You are true on both faces.
yes.
Nick is saying you're not a Muppet, but I'll agree. As far as your
Yeah.
writing ability, I'm going to say Muppet.
I've seen
I mean-
Evan write. He can actually write.
I-
I'm sure he can.
Oh.
I don't doubt that at all.
I'm actually a really good writer. But like that's like
I try to get him to write like reviews on our Instagram. And he's like, "Nah, bro," and I'm like, "Fuck."
everybody just uses me. Everybody uses me for my writing ability. My brother did. He's like, "Can you write my editorial?" I'm like, "Bro, it's an editorial."
No, bruh. You
He's
write
like,
Nah, bro. Yeah, you.
I
write
wrote
that shit.
I wrote his first 2 paragraphs and he's like, "Okay, well can you do the last 3?" And I was like, "Bro, you just copy what I did for the second one for the next 2." I was like, "It's not even that hard."
It's going to sound like 3 different people wrote that fucking paper.
You
Throw
got
me
a
in,
30
throw me
you
in,
got a-
coach.
He got a
Yeah.
35 out of 37 on it.
Nice.
You get me in there.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the bitch said this, and I thought that was fucked up.
God.
Period.
You guys are the worst. I don't even want to know any essays you wrote, Nick.
I can
If
write
you
good.
did.
I can
don't know
actually
about
write
that.
really well.
I feel like that's what you wrote in all your essays. You were like,
Oh,
tell me what you
definitely.
thought of. Tell me what you thought of Catcher in the Rye. I thought it was weird that there was a Catcher in the Rye. Period. It's like what?
That bitch
I-
fucked up.
I think
Yeah.
I had to do a essay on the Green Mile.
Geronimo Stilton is a
On the
mouse.
Green
He
Mile?
likes cheese.
They asked us to write about a movie, and I wrote about the Green Mile. And I was like, and then the big guy got sad because a mouse died. And my teacher was like,
Dude,
she's like, I think you missed the point, sweetheart. And I was like, why don't you go
No
fuck
shit.
yourself?
Did
no shit.
you read Stuart Little? What the fuck happened here?
Stuart Little was in the Green Mile. That he was the mouse that was in prison.
Yeah.
He's doing
He
a hard time,
did.
bro.
He
He's
did
doing a hard
now.
time.
He upset big guy.
Oh,
Dude,
rest in peace,
this-
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. No, I don't remember. I actually always failed my essays in high school. I was always really bad because I just had no motivation. I was just like, I don't want to write this. But then I got
passed
to
all my
college.
tests.
I got to college and they were like, all right, you're gonna do this, and I got like A pluses or whatever, or A's because they don't do pluses now, but they do pluses for the lower grades. They don't do A pluses anymore. But like I got A's in both English classes, and I mean like I had to write I told Nick this after I did it because it was the day Cyberpunk came out, and I was
Ugh.
so excited to play it, which I shouldn't have been, and
Hindsight.
I had to write a 10-page paper where I had luckily at this point I was able to have 2 monitors, and on my right or my left I had my Microsoft Word open because I use Word, and if you use Google Docs to write your essays, you need to get out. Just stop doing
it'd
it.
be all
Word is
fucked up,
perfect.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And my brother did that. He's like, we have to use Google Docs to write our
No.
paper. I'm like, of course you do. I'm like, they're
Take it
teaching
from
you the
Word.
wrong things.
Copy paste
Yeah.
it over.
They're teaching you they only use Google Docs because it's easy. They don't
Mm-hmm.
do it big for any like every other job, everything else will always like college requests that you use Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
But like so I had Word over on one screen, and on my other screen I had all like 20 different articles I had that were like scientific papers, editorials, and all this other kind of stuff, like op-eds from magazines and science, like peer-reviewed journals and articles about carbon neutrality in cities. Think of a more boring topic and then write 10,000 words of it.
Be like, so
And-
then I went home and I shot myself in the face.
No.
I finished it. I made a Jack and Coke, and I loaded up Cyberpunk, and all my hard work throughout the day was not rewarded with anything. I got
Nope.
rewarded with poo poo, and I didn't get anything good out of it. And then I woke up the next day, saw my grade, and I had 100% on a paper I wrote the same day it
Nice.
was due. I did not even care. I was
Yeah.
like, hey man,
You eventually learn to use all sorts of filler words and things that like are frivolous and have no meaning on
Brody-
the actual paper, but
Brody, I can promise you, I don't even know if I have it saved on my computer. I can promise you that the last 3 pages was the same paragraph 7 different times. I actually
slightly
just
different
kept
wording.
going. Oh yeah, I totally just kept going, and just I was able to. Yeah, like I mean, my brother was really impressed with my writing. I mean, but I've gotten so good at it now where it's, yeah, I mean, he's like, I'm having so much trouble writing, a paragraph. And I'm like, what? I looked at his stuff and she's like, a paragraph is 5 to 7 sentences. And that pissed me off
5 to
because
7
I was
instead
like,
of 3 to 5.
they do like, yeah, it's like between 5 to 7 now. But like what pissed me off is that in college, I could write paragraphs that were 10 sentences.
Oh, yeah.
They would be half a page. Like we never had a limit on how many sentences we could do. But I just was like, that's not hard. I was like, okay, so first sentence is your intro. Second and third are your here's my research and here's what it means. 4 and 5 is my thoughts on it, and then 6 or 7 or 6 and 7 is my conclusion. I was like, that's super easy. And I did it in front of him, and he's like, that's really good. I'm like, bro, it's like just
follow the formula.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not good at English. I'm like, well, you better still learn a different language.
Yeah.
Well, either you learn a different language or you get this shit right. I mean, I gotta teach him a bit more.
We used to do a lot of like paragraphs that were like 3 to 5, and then I think they did up it to like 5 to 7, and then I never English was always like my strong suit. Math was where I fell behind because I was out so much from like knee surgeries and shit that I got behind and never caught back up. But
I was just never good at math. I'm not good at math because so for instance, my brother's good at math and I'm not. And I was like, because I was explaining to my mom, I'm like, the reason why is that he keeps thinking to himself the same way he thinks in math, where he goes, this is the right answer. And my teacher will agree that this is the right answer. Therefore I'm correct. Therefore I get the points for it. And I'm like, but she doesn't. In English, they're not looking for a certain answer. They're looking for your interpretation of the events that they're looking for something, but they're looking for your, sure. They're looking for, I can agree with that. But like, so in college is a great example where it's like, they just said, here's what I want you to write about. Give me your opinions. And as long as you word them well and you can kind of, like the editorial, it was all about convincing her to go to the other side.
Yeah.
Like, so, I just was like, okay, that's, the problem is that you're looking for the words that will get her to your side, but you're not thinking about the emotions you have to invoke to get her to your side. Because that's what's more important. I didn't have him watch The West Wing. That was the whole damn problem. You didn't
threaten your teacher.
I never threatened teachers.
I called my teacher out on some bullshit before.
I had questions for my
English teacher
before.
In college, I called him out on some bullshit because my first 2 papers I turned in, I got 100%, and he said that he thought I was a liberal arts major. And after that, it went downhill once it started to get into like other topics. The topic was where shit got out of hand. And
so where it's like you think he was disagreeing with what you were saying.
He disagreed with what I said, and so he had a grading rubric that he laid out, right? And the grading rubric, like the works cited was worth, like 10 fucking points. Like it wasn't much. He marked me off 50% of my fucking grade on my final exam because of that works cited. He didn't like the way I did my works cited, even though it was right. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, what did you do?
There was a couple different... Dude, this was like
MLA format?
This was like 10 years ago. I have no fucking clue what I did, but...
Did you do MLA, APA, Chicago format? Come on,
yeah,
bro,
there's so many goddamn
formats.
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be API format.
Oh, really?
No, maybe it was MLA. Regardless,
we use MLA 8.
I literally used a fucking website that does it for you.
And
I double-checked it after the fact and submitted it, and I got marked off 50%. For my works cited page. He had nothing else to say. My English was proper, but everything else, he's like, no, I don't like it. Okay, cool.
You know what?
That's nonsense.
Fuck you, Brody's teacher.
Yeah, that's right. I called him out in the email, and he never emailed me back. I go, you gave me a grading rubric, and that's not how that fucking went. So I'm going to go ahead and sit here and say that you are discriminating against it because you didn't agree with what I had to say.
Whatever your opinion was.
Right.
Ridiculous.
But
that's nonsense. We're an education podcast now.
Yeah, we're in education. I'm a fake professor now.
There you go, and I'm his fake student.
That's
right. I will teach you how to cheat on your GED.
There you go. Cheat on your
GED. Good enough degree.
Attaboy.
It's all C's. Hit C on everything and you pass.
That's annoying.
But anyway, Nick, now that you are back, my friend, tell us about your Christmas. We had to kind of like fill in some dead air because I was getting ready to pass it over to you, and you got up. I'm like, shit. Okay, let's talk about my college experience and how I wanted to kill a teacher.
I have a small bladder. I had to pee, and I need to get ice for my next glass of whiskey. Yeah, my Christmas was great. I went up north with my wife and son to see her family. It's always awesome to see her grandma. Perry's grandmother is amazing. So we did that. Present wise, dude, stacked up totally. My wife got me a new microphone, which I'm using right now. It's the Shure MV7.
And he sounds beautiful, and the mic sounds pretty good too. This thing
is insane. There's so many things I could do with it. I haven't even gotten really into it yet. Like there's a lot I can do with it. She got me a lot of good clothes. She got me a whole bunch of shit, dude. That's just like a Toxic Avenger blanket, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I got a little Toxie pillow from her.
Nice.
Like, dude, she got me a whole bunch of shit. There's like still like a thing or two that's not even here yet, so I'm excited to see what that is. My mother-in-law, dude, got me a Ducky 1 Mini 2 keyboard.
Holy shit. Did you like give her a list of shit you were wanting, or did she pick that out herself?
My wife must have, dude, because she's like, here you go. And I was like, holy shit, dude, like those are great keyboards.
Yeah, fantastic.
Jeff's gonna be like, you son of a bitch. But she did get me the Kojima book, The Creative Gene. I'm very excited to read this book. She got me a compendium for Preacher.
Holy shit.
So volume 2 of Preacher, which like it's over there. So it's I'll grab it. 1 minute. Hold up, Evan. Help me fill the dead air real quick.
Okay.
He just talked about getting a Kojima book, and then some compendium that I didn't fully listen to, but don't tell him that.
All right, I'm back. So this is the compendium, but like, dude, look at that. Like Evan, this like the spine.
The spine looks good.
Spine.
Yes,
it's a nice spine.
Look at that spine,
dude.
It's a nice spine.
Leather bound. Says just Preacher on the front, dude. This thing is just gorgeous. Preacher is one of my favorite.
So I just learned this evening. The guy who plays Jesus in Preacher is the lead singer of All American Rejects.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I've never watched Preacher,
cool.
but I was
Preacher's good.
I saw some random video. They're like, what happened to the All American Rejects? And they're like, oh yeah, the lead singer went on to play Jesus in Preacher. I'm like, what the fuck?
The lead singer was also the lead singer was a patient in House too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so was Matthew Lillard and Jeremy Renner. They were all patients in House.
Jeremy Renner was?
Yeah, I think he actually played a rock star. He played a rock star. Matthew Lillard played a rock star too. Yeah, they all played rock stars who got sick from one thing or another. It was pretty interesting. Huh. But then the All American Rejects guy was like a painter, or he played something other than a rock star.
Yeah.
This is my real job. I don't want to do that in the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
Dude, I got a bunch of great stuff, man. It was actually wild to see what my wife and her mom picked out for me. And honestly, next to that, it was just cool watching like my wife and my son open the gifts I got for them. Like that was really cool. Like my wife took care of like all the gifts for Landon this year, minus one. Like I got Landon this like 4-in-1 learning robot thing. Which is a cool little thing, huh?
Yeah, I was almost as surprised as my kids were when they were opening their presents. Like Amber took care of all of it this year, and I was just like, cool, awesome, thanks. So they opened it. I'm like, hey, that's pretty neat. I knew some of it, but
I had seen some of the things that Perry had got Landon throughout the year for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then like just see him like, because like he's not even 2 yet, man. So like he's just kind of bouncing around. Like we didn't wrap any of it.
He's close.
We just like had it in front of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, here, and like he was just like bouncing around different gifts, and it's like, that's cool. Yeah. Like that's really fucking cool. Her, I got like a bunch of shit as well, but like everything I got was insane. Like the clothes I got were dope. The books I got, the fucking computer components, this microphone is like definitely like the standout for me because podcasting is like one of my bigger hobbies, right? Like we do it every week, And I do love my Yeti, but if I want to take it to the next level, so she got me this microphone, the Shure MV7. It's badass.
Yeah, it's a nice
So,
microphone for sure.
Badass.
Badass.
Yeah,
Fucking
it sounds
Pauly.
great.
Yeah, dude.
My
I'm
dad,
stoked.
my dad did that on Christmas. My sister opened something and he made a joke and he went, and I was like, "You got Tourette's, Dad. You should get that checked out."
You should get that checked out.
We were cracking up. We were just quoting things back and forth to each other. I did the whole snakes going fucking themselves bit in front of him. He's losing it. There you go. See, he just did it.
You hear what book I got, Evan? Other than
Did you
Preacher?
hear- What?
Yeah, I said Jeff's gonna make fun of me for this book I got.
What book is it?
The
Did you tell me?
The Hideo Kojima
Oh.
book, The Creative Gene.
Oh boy,
I'm so stoked on it.
I can
So
tell.
Some
stoked.
fucking artsy shit. I just can't. I can't get behind. I can't do
I'm
it.
gonna
think I
come
gotta-
back to the podcast next week and be like, actually.
So
I got a kink in my neck
actually-
from him talking about it.
I can't wait
Death
to
Stranding's a good
bounce
game.
my head off my desk when you go to
Yeah.
tell me about it. gonna be
Actually, the
great.
duality between Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid is
Oh, I'm
pretty-
gonna put my recliner button all the way back, and I'm just gonna throw it down.
Yeah.
just
Is that-
like this.
Oh my god. But yeah, Christmas was
This
good
is
this year,
far-
man.
This is as
You
far
know-
back as it goes.
My wife usually goes all out on Christmas for me though.
Yeah.
Since we started dating, like she's always like, because like I'll think I'm getting like, I think I'm going above and beyond. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I grabbed this, I grabbed this, I grabbed this, and then like I second guess. I went out on Christmas Eve to a bunch of places, and I was like, all right, I don't think I grabbed enough. Like maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know if you guys have that. Like,
Yeah.
like if you're getting gifts for people, like fuck, like I could have grabbed more, and I do, and like there's a lot of shit that's still like not here yet for my wife, and it's all a pain in the fucking ass.
That
I
was
hate
the
Christmas.
hard part about this year, and that's why I wasn't involved in a lot of the Christmas shopping because so much of it was online. Like we did a good chunk of it online, and then some of the other stuff came, later, where it's like some of the bigger items to kind of fill out the gap because we had some other things planned and they fell through, and
Yeah,
so at that point it's like, okay, well, we had to scramble a little bit, and it worked out pretty well, but yeah, I mean, so much of it was online. Typically we'd go through like Target or Walmart or whatever, and like, hey, that looks cool, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that, and we just keep a running tally of everything. And then because we have the two kids, and you have to find that nice balance of spending the same or a similar amount of money and also
Yeah.
the same amount of gifts, because they go back and forth. So it's like he opens one, he opens the other, like back and forth, right? And so that always adds a weird element to it, where you're like trying to balance it out in a way where they don't have any concept of it right now.
yeah,
Like eventually it'll get to the point where my oldest is 3 years older. So yeah, he's going to be getting something that's way more expensive and probably not like as many items, whereas the younger one will still be kind of getting somewhere
more
in the middle,
shit,
right?
but it'll add up to what he got.
But that'll make sense once the oldest one is old enough to understand how much shit costs to some extent too, right? Like right now, it's like, well, not so much. I mean, I guess like my youngest got like an electric scooter, but he also got smaller things too. So it balanced out
dope as
that
fuck.
way, right? Yeah, it was cool. And then my oldest got, he actually got Pokemon Pearl.
Oh, sick, yeah.
He was really wanting Pokemon Pearl, so we threw it in his, and it works out, but it does become this weird like balancing act of trying to like figure out costs to a like quantity of gifts as well.
Dude, check this conversation out I had with a coworker of mine. So I worked on Thursday, right? I don't even think I told Evan this story yet. I worked on Thursday.
No.
And I'm ready to go home because I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to myself. I go
Yeah.
back to work tomorrow. There's this guy at work, very he's evangelical. So he's like up your ass with God. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
And he knows kind of where I stand. Like he's asked me questions before. He's seen like some of my tattoos, and he's actually complained
You
about
showed
them.
him your belly button, didn't you?
Oh, I bet.
The world eater I on my tummy. No,
Uh-huh.
but you know, he's asked about some of my tattoos, whatever, and I've explained about my religion and all that, which is no shock to what I believe in. I've explained it on the show before. I am a Satanist. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to explain it to you. Look it up. You're going to be shocked. So that got brought up. And he's like, what are you going to do when your child is old enough to ask you about God and Christmas? And I was like, well, what are you asking me right now? Because your question doesn't make sense. I was like, this is a holiday. We're having fun. I don't have to bring religion into this to have fun. And I was being nice about it at first. He goes, well, when they ask about God, I'm like, when my son does? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, what are you asking? And he goes, if your son comes up to you and goes, is God real? What are you going to say? And I said, well, way to harsh the vibe. But if Landon came up to me and goes, hey, is there a God? I told him what I would say is, I personally don't think there is, but if you so choose to, then that makes me happy for you.
Nick's he's gonna say, he says that now, but Landon's gonna ask him, and he's gonna pour himself a little bit of whiskey. He's gonna take a sip, and he's go, "It's me, son.
I am God." No,
I am God.
But in all honesty, that's what I would say. I'd be like, you know what, man? I don't personally think there is, but if you so choose to believe, then that's on you, and that is great for you. That makes me happy. If that brings you comfort, and if that's your view, that makes me happy. And that, I think that's an acceptable answer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he did not. He's like, well, I like the second half of your statement, but the first half you shouldn't tell your son. I was like, so you want me to lie?
So,
but if that's what you believe, like, what else are you supposed to say, right?
Well, that's the thing is,
I grew up, I mean, in a very Christian home. Like, if that's what you believe, it would be wrong to be like, yeah, no, there definitely is, even though I don't fucking believe it.
Correct.
Like, that's not fair.
No, I don't. But if you do, that makes me happy. Whatever makes you happy.
The funny thing is that this guy is trying to tell Nick that he's wrong without saying
exactly.
He's just like, well, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. he leaves pamphlets in the bathroom from his church.
No.
And I've seen some of the mechanics throw them in the urinal and pee on him. They're like, this fucking guy. And I'm like,
you know what?
I don't even believe it. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Did he have do you know him like at all very well? Did he have a problem before this? Because
he makes jokes about beating his wife.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's
the super shocking. Like Christian guy does?
Yes.
The fuck? Like how are you going to sit here and be like, you need to tell your kid about God, but I'm also going to go home and beat my wife? Like, how the fuck does that work?
Thank you.
What the fuck?
This guy sucks. Rob, you suck.
Jesus.
It's like Bill Burr. It's like you think people
name dropped.
You think people are on their way home and they see that, don't hit your wife billboard and they go, "Oh, it all makes sense now."
It all makes sense now.
They're not even paying attention. They're just on their way home because they're so focused on doing exactly that.
He's a weird guy. He does this shit all the time.
What a weird dichotomy. Like, that's so fucking
he asked me about Satanism.
Man. He asked me about Satanism. He was like, "What is Satanism?" And I told him. He's like, "No, it's not." I went, "What?" Right. I was like, I explained to him what it was, which I'm not going to do on the show because I'm not going to push my shit.
Right.
Whatever. Let me say this. Whatever you believe in is beautiful to you. And that makes me happy.
Right.
Right? Like, I just want people to be happy. If you don't push your fucking shit on other people, that's the important thing. If you're happy, be happy. And if that gives you comfort, then do it. Don't be an asshole.
Can I add okay, I was going to say, can I add an addendum to your statement?
Yes.
You can believe in whatever you want as long as it's not, the systematic persecution of people of color or different races, religions, or creeds.
That is bad. That is bad.
Because if we couldn't leave you saying whatever you think is beautiful, because there are some things that people think that just aren't.
What I am trying to say is this. If you are religious, from a person who is not, I am happy for you. And I want you to be happy. This guy, however, is a jerk off.
Yeah.
But like, that was such an odd Christmas. He's like, so how do you believe in Christmas? I'm like, Bubba.
It,
Bubba.
you
I was
mean
like,
the
"Don't-"
extremely commercialized, like
Yes.
borderline, like
Well,
a pagan holiday at this point? Like
So
from a Christian standpoint, it is a
yes.
pagan holiday, right? Like
And
it
can
has
we preface that?
expanded.
Brody is a Christian, and I am a fucking Satanist, and we are
Right.
on the same podcast.
I'm a nothing.
Like,
Don't even
it's
imagine existing outside of your religion or political
And being
beliefs. Like,
friends.
holy shit, it's
Right.
a fucking novel idea, right?
But like, he got me to the point where I said, "You do understand that Christmas is a stolen holiday, right?"
Yeah.
He went, "It's about the birth of Jesus." I went, "Nay,
It's
nay,
not.
my friend, nay,
No.
nay." I was like, "No."
Like,
I was like, "It was the Christians stole the holiday
like, and
from
if
the
you
Druids
actually,
and shit."
if you actually even dig into like when, like, okay, so again, broad spanning here. I'm not,
Yes,
I'm not pushing any fucking belief here, right? But
good. Yes,
if you are a Christian and you look into when Jesus was actually born, like according to everything going on, right?
Yes.
It was
It's like
not
around what?
December. It was not
It
December.
was like September, right?
Yeah.
It
It was like
August
fall.
or September.
Like it was not
Yeah.
even December. This is absolutely taking a
I know that.
a belief in a thing based on a guy who used to just deliver gifts to people
Go,
in
Brody.
his town.
Go, Brody.
And then and like Christians totally hijack this shit. Like it is easy if you actually just do a little bit of research. Like what the
He's
fuck?
like- This guy
I
at Nick's
told-
work is like,
Oh,
yeah, well,
well-
Santa Claus was like the one that helped protect,
No.
baby
cut
Jesus.
The
It's
umbilical
like,
cord.
and
Santa cut the-
and it's like if I could talk to Rob, I'd be like, actually, he was created in the 30s by Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
believe it or
it
not.
wasn't angels, shepherds, wise
Oh,
men, and
fuck.
fucking Santa. Like, goddamn. Like, what the
Nah, bro.
fuck?
Dude,
It was, yeah.
I was this close to being like, so do you think Jesus was the fucking white, blue-eyed, brown-haired man? Or are you going to be rational and go Middle
Yeah.
Eastern, probably more so black at
Yeah,
that point in time?
Given the point of where that area would have been,
He was-
it would have been
Jesus, if he was
Middle
alive, was
Eastern, more
probably
leaning towards
black.
right? Like,
But he doesn't want to acknowledge that shit.
it's
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
that has always been my biggest problem. Not to like
Oh.
take this in a super religious
No,
standpoint.
this is a good
That
conversation, though.
That has always been my biggest problem with the church in general, where they have their heads shoved so far up their own fucking ass. Like, mind you, I am covered in tattoos. I have
Thou
walked
shalt
into
not
so
print.
many fucking churches and
Yes.
been basically like, I'm never fucking coming back to this place. Never again. Absolutely will never, because the people who tout themselves as being accepting and, this and that are the worst fucking people I've ever met in my entire life.
Dude, so again, going back to this though, like, you're a Christian, I'm a
Right.
Satanist. Evan believes basically nothing, correct, Evan?
He believes in John Mayer.
That's
Dude, John Mayer could be Jesus.
I don't think so.
He's like horny
don't-
Jesus, dude.
I don't have a specific belief at all. I don't really.
yeah,
I'm
bro.
too young to know. I'm too young to know. Like if anybody, I have two different sides of family, right? So like, my dad grew up Catholic, but he's not religious. He's atheist. My mom, one of the things,
Hypnos?
I think she said Methodist, but at the end of the day, I just kind of go, whatever. It's just another word, like. Whatever the specific, there's something different in the contract there, but like it's nothing crazy. I mean, you believe the same.
Contract.
You believe the same shit. And I went to church once with my grandma, like church to like Catholic church or whatever. I've been to church before in terms of not like for that specific purpose. I've been to churches for funerals and whatnot, but like and marriages, but like church to like for that. I remember as a kid, I didn't know any of the songs.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and like my grandma and her sister are singing and I'm just like, and I'm like just trying to
pray.
yeah, and I didn't know anything, and we got back home, and she's like, "Well, what'd you think?" And I was like, "There's a lot of standing and sitting for no real reason that I understood," and
Sounds about right.
and it was like just but I remember as a kid, because this is what I wanted to relate to when you were talking about with Landon, is I asked my mom, and my mom said yes. And I said, what
Right.
does dad think? I don't know if that was because I was a smart kid or I was just dumb, and I was like, well, you said the answer. What does dad think? Does dad
Right.
agree? And my mom, so I asked him, or my mom actually told me the truth. She just said no, he doesn't, and I was like, what? And I like yeah, like
Stone Cold
Stone Cold
E.T..
E.T. What? And I went back home and I asked my dad, and I was like, why don't you believe in God? Like, what's the reason? And he was busy working at the time, which I still remember the moment because it was so
I could
funny to
see
me.
Neo.
It's funny to me now, but like as a kid, I wasn't shocked or upset. I was just like, oh, okay. But he just didn't even look up, didn't look at me, and he just went because there's no proof. And I was like, damn. I was like,
He
that was
just on
quick.
his computer going, "Fuck
Yeah,
off, son."
he's
I
like
don't.
he's like
Right.
just answering questions, and I was like, okay. And then I came to my conclusion on my own, like looking up stuff on the internet, which is probably not the best thing to do in terms of learning about that stuff.
You also
But
found
like,
out you had cancer, right? Like,
yeah, WebMD did have something on there that I was in trouble about, but like no, I just kind of looked it up on my own, and I just kind of I'm under the impression that like I'm more of a science-based guy, but I mean I don't care in terms of like yeah, Brody, you're religious in the way you are, and Nick, you're religious in the way you are to a degree, and you know there are people who are religious in so many other facets, and I think that religion is not necessarily something that is just a truth. I think it's humanity's way of coping with things and
It is.
wrong.
moralities,
You're not
It
and
wrong.
really
and
is. It's a teaching
like
of morals, in my opinion.
like exactly, and people take it way too literally now, where it's like, I mean, one of my mom's friends who is literally only religious when it benefits her,
Man,
you
that
know.
Ah,
So she's
met
only religious
plenty of
because
those people.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's only religious because now she doesn't have to get the COVID vaccine, right? But any other time she didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
She doesn't go to church on Sunday. She doesn't go to church ever. Like whatever, right? So I mean, but then I'll call her out on that and I'll be like, "So you're religious?" And she goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "So then why don't you go to church?" Well, I give some
I'm
bullshit.
busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be a
God
bullshit
can
reason.
wait.
Oh, you're busy on Sunday, the Sabbath day, where God, if I'm not mistaken, in the Bible or like the teaching of it was that you don't do anything on the Sabbath day, you don't work, right? Like, so you
Yeah.
don't make time to go. I mean, Birdie's looking at me, and I'm like, if I'm completely wrong
No,
on
you're
this,
right.
you can
You're
tell
spot
me.
on. You're
Okay,
good.
okay. So like, and I'll call her out on that, and I'll be like, that's not how that works. You can't pick and choose that way. Like, either you're fully devoted or you're not, but like, you can't be religious only when it suits you and say that you just believe it, because at that
Right.
point that's even more of a human or
A
a
moot
human
point.
facet. That's a
Right.
human facet is, well, I can get what I want out of it. Oh, then yeah, I'm totally religious. But like, I don't I don't personally care. You know, if you're Muslim or you're Buddhist or any other sort of religion, I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but like, Catholic, Methodist, Protestant, anything like that. Be what you want to be, but don't push it on me because I'm not pushing it on you, right? Like
Yeah.
this guy comes over to talk to me at Nick's work and he's like, "So you believe in Jesus?" And I go, no, I don't really. Like, well, why don't you? Well, I believe more in like the scientific findings that we've discovered through our years of technological advancement, just looking at all the stuff that is out there in the world and looking back and through carbon dating of this and this, right? Just how the earth was made and all this other kind of stuff. And I just know how he'd yell at, or he'd not yell at me, but he'd be like, "Well, that's completely wrong because God did this and God did that."
Guy's
And
a
it was like,
moron. He doesn't know how to
I don't
yell.
know. Again, I'm not entirely certain, but it's like,
Fuck you, Rob.
was it 7 days? God created the earth in 7 days
Yeah.
is like the teaching.
Yeah, it was 7
Okay.
days.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like I disagree just with that basic founding of like I don't think that's exactly how it happened. And I had a teacher in high school, he's a biology teacher, who's like we were watching a documentary at the Galapagos Islands, right? And just
Yeah.
how that's such a hotbed for evolution and how it teaches things. And one of the girls in class asked something about religion and evolution or whatever, and he said, I found a pretty good balance where I can
Yep.
understand that the earth was probably not formed the way it says in the Bible, but I can understand where there might be some sort of all-knowing creator to a degree. And I'm like,
Right.
so like, and that for my opinion more than anything else is that you can have both. You don't need to have either he is there or he's not. You can have that.
You can have
my-
doubt. Having doubt
my-
is
Yeah.
good.
my current belief in it is that if he is there, bro, it just like Nick said last week about the Matrix. If it exists, I'm not gonna know. Like,
I would like
unless-
to know if the Matrix exists. By the
Well,
way,
it's
I
like
watched the fourth film. We'll get into that at the end of the show.
So
and same but same thing with that though. It's like I just don't believe what you want to believe. Just don't push it on me, right? And like I found a good balance, and like I encourage everybody to find a balance in one way or another without being like this guy at Nick's work who's like, well, what are you going to tell your kid?
Just
Well, I'm
be
going to tell him this.
happy.
Well, here's the problem: is that he goes, "What are you going to tell your kid?" And you tell him, and he goes, "Well, I agree with the second, but this first part's wrong." It's like, so then just say you just disagree. Don't
Right.
say that it's wrong.
Don't
It's not.
pussyfoot around it.
It's not
Yeah.
factually incorrect. You have an opinion that you disagree with it. There's a difference.
Right.
What were you going to say, Brody? You were going to
So I wholeheartedly agree. Like to preface all of this, I'm a bad Christian. Okay,
I
just
love
to
it. I fucking
to go
love it.
ahead and put that at the forefront when I'm saying, goddamn and cussing left and right. I'm going to preface, I am not a great Christian. Okay. Secondly, though, to tie into what Evan was saying, there is nothing in religion that is against science, right? Like if you are
Right.
objectively looking at what is going on according to a Bible, right? Or whatever
Right.
it may be, there is nothing to say that evolution can't exist. Since I was in 8th fucking grade, I could piece that together and be like, okay, well, the big thing is like, God created this, cool, right? But there's nothing to say that evolution didn't happen along the
Take
fucking
its
way.
course.
Like, what? There's nothing in the Bible. If you are a true blue believer of the fucking Bible, there is nothing to say that evolution can't exist.
Right.
There's nothing against it, right? And so to me, that always was one of those weird sticking points. But I feel like so many people that are religious are just very stuck in a very traditional sort of way. And to me, I feel like if you actually want religion to last and actually be something that, more people are going to last or to grasp onto eventually, it has to evolve, for lack of a better word. Like, you can't keep preaching the same shit that has been being preached for years and years. Again, I grew up in a very, very Christian home. I went to a Christian private school up through 7th grade. So I have heard every story in the Bible. I've heard it multiple times. I practically know more than a lot of pastors that preach this anymore, right? Like, I have learned it. I have heard it. I'm very well versed in what the Bible says. But to sit here and act like everybody should believe it, like it's really easy to believe, is insane. Like, you sound like a goddamn crazy. You sound like a crazy person, right? Like,
Right.
There is no way to explain a religion without sounding like an absolute crazy person. So to me, it's this weird balance, and I have for years now been in that weird state of like questioning, I guess. And that's I've talked to other people that I went to school with, and it seems like most of them either went super far in that religion standpoint, or the rest of them have turned into atheist. Yeah, absolutely. Or agnostic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
That'd
like
be the closest you
somewhere
could
like
classify
in
me under.
between that. I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I know my wife's going to listen to this and be like, sinner. Right. But
Amber, he loves you. Love him
right.
back, please.
But I would be lying if I said, like I'm fully on board with everything all the time. And we've talked many times about, like how demeaned women are in the Bible, and like, we've talked many a times of like people take the Bible way too literally, word for word, and this and that. Like, it is specifically this way. This is a book that was written thousands of years ago.
May I also say this? It
That's
was
my dad's
rewritten by many other people as
Yes.
well.
It has-
Interpreted.
it has
It's
been
many
in-
other men's interpretations.
It has been interpreted, it has been rewritten, and even if you are on board with the fact that, God passed this down to someone to write, like, that is still like, okay, but now somebody still had to write this, right? Like, there's so many.
It's a game of telephone at one point.
Exactly. If you've ever played a game of telephone, you know how shittily that goes. Like, it never goes well. And
Hey, bro.
and that's always my thing. And so
I heard Cindy, bus stop, you and her.
Right?
And it's like, hey, dude, you hear Cindy blew Tom at the bus stop? It's like, that was not what we said at all.
Right. And so that's where my like hang up is, especially on the stuff that is super fucking outdated, right? Like all of the stuff about women or even like gay people and stuff like that. I have no problem at all. Absolutely live your life the way you want to live. And
be happy.
And I really truly believe that like if you do want to promote Christianity to people, you need to accept what is going on in the world today. You need to actually look and be like, you can't fucking condemn gay people. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. Yeah. Like, that's not your fucking place. Like, just be a kind human being, first and foremost.
And that's what I'm going to be instilling into my son.
Right.
It's, hey, man, people are different, and they're different for a reason.
Yep.
Because it's what makes us us. There was 2 things I wanted to note on that.
I mean, they update iTunes every 6 days. Could we not get an update on the Bible yet? Like,
can we get an audio update on the Bible, please?
Right. Could we get a make this a bit more user friendly for the rest of us?
Also, God said, WTFeth is going on in the world today.
Yeah.
No, but like I explained to him that I told you, Jeff and Evan, on one of the shows that I do have a card from the Satanic Temple, which are my 7. Yes, they're my 7 tenets. Yeah. They're what keep me grounded, and I will look at it's almost like how some Christians carry a small Bible, and if they're having a hard time, they'll read it.
Or they have Gideon's Bible in like every hotel room.
Yes, that I have done things Rocky that I'm not going to talk about.
Oh, God.
Yes, Rock Record. But I have done things to some of those Bibles in hotel rooms that I'm not going to explain on the show.
Beatles reference, just like that. Yes. We're going to do that. This is the Beatles show now. Sorry, Brody.
But he asked about the tenets of Satanism, and I explained. Yeah. I read them off to him. This is the one that he had a problem with.
No, I can't wait.
He said this was extremely evil. And I have them up, so I'm going to read them out with no fallacy.
Do you want us to guess? Do you want us to guess which one it is that he had a problem with?
The 7th. We should
do that.
Yeah, go ahead and guess. Well, okay.
We'll read them and then we'll guess. Yeah, well, I mean,
one should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason.
That was it. That was the one he had a problem with.
That's something that Christianity should do but doesn't do. Okay. Continue.
The struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institution.
Okay.
3. Okay. One's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone.
Sure.
Okay.
The freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend, to willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own.
Boy, it seems like, the real intense Christians like take that to a whole nother level of being like, I'm going to invade all of your personal space.
Yes.
But anyway, sorry, carry on again.
Beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific fact to fit one's belief.
Okay.
6. People are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused. And 7. Every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word.
It was the 5th one. It was the scientific one that he had a problem with.
No, I think it's that last one.
Because
it was the last one. He said that was extremely evil. And I went, what did you hear in those sentences that were bad?
Yeah, what did you hear in that?
It's the written word.
Did he explain it?
It's the fact that
I'm
trying to figure out how I want to say this, but there's a certain like if you read the Bible, right? Like Revelations will say like if you change the Bible in any way, shape, or form, you are basically condemned to die,
sin.
Right? Yeah, that is one of the worst things you can do. Yes. But yet we have preachers that take words and change it to whatever they want, right? So it's kind of this weird like. Okay, but I can guarantee it's definitely the 7th because the written word is absolutely held to this crazy high standard, even though it is, again, a book that was written thousands of years ago in a society that was drastically different than what we have today.
Out of those tenets, though, for you guys, hearing that for Satanism, would you have ever thought that was Satanism?
No, absolutely not.
It's just be a cool person. That's
Yeah,
all
I thought
that
it was
says.
like I thought it was like become a vampire, suck other people's blood, live for 500 years,
And shop
Yeah.
at Hot Topic.
That's
and
right.
shop at Hot Topic,
Shop-
Five Below,
Carve
Five
pentagrams
Below,
into everything.
Yes,
Sam's
in
Club.
the bathroom.
Yeah,
Uh,
only
but
like I always steal the ketchup from the diners. I don't know. Like
the
I thought
thing
it was
is,
just,
like-
I thought it was pranks.
those tenets are like the most generic and like what should be applied to all religions everywhere.
Everything.
But yet somehow, again, along the way, like Christians are usually 90% of the people I can't fucking stand. Again, grew up in Christianity. I can't, like, Christians are the most judgmental assholes 90% of the time. Like,
So are
if-
Satanists, though. I'm telling you right now, so are
Yeah,
Satanists. They're
there's
so
some weird,
fucking,
like, yeah.
like, as a
But
Satanist, I'll
that's-
say right now, they are so. A lot of them are so pretentious.
Yeah.
They're very pretentious. Like,
I-
you don't believe in the devil. Like, that's not what we're about. And like,
Yeah.
don't push it.
Right.
Like, if people want to discover Satanism and atheism or Christianity, let them discover it, because that's what's going to make them happy.
I feel like atheism is like the new like cool thing too, or newer
It's
cool
been the
thing.
cool thing,
Right,
It's
it
like
has
the
been
eighth
for a
grade
while, right?
religion.
But
It's-
it's very much that thing of like this very judgmental, like, oh, how the fuck can you believe anything? Because existence sucks and you have to have something. Like, come
It's a
on,
driving
now.
force. It's a driving force that
Right.
helps you get through.
Right? But yeah, no, I get it. I think ultimately, like, if people just followed those 7 tenets that you just listed off, the world would be a better place in general.
Brody,
Like,
10 out of 10. Brody's a Satanist now.
fuck.
Great.
He started laughing.
But
He started laughing.
it's just, yeah, I'm pretty sure my dad might kill me for that one.
Hey, Brody, ready for this? Join us.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But
drink the Kool-Aid.
ultimately, like, all religions should strive to actually have those tenets. Yet all religions get on this high horse gatekeeping bullshit where it's like, well, you
Yeah.
don't believe the exact same thing I do, and it's
So fuck you.
it's
Yeah.
fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. That's never the intention. And if you actually boil it down, half the religions actually believe a lot of the same shit.
Half the religions also stole from all other religions.
Yeah, it's
And it
all
can
this
all
big
be-
copycat bullshit
It
over
can
and
all
over
be
and over.
fucking guided right back to astrology.
Yes.
That's the insane thing. It's all back to astrology. The fucking seasons changing, the fucking stars, the patterns. It's all about that. But again, with religion,
Wait. So you're telling me the shit that I already think is nonsense is where all this came from?
all the thing that you like when your sister is 20, she's like, by the way, Evan, your chakra is out of line. That is almost where
She-
it comes from.
Yeah.
She pulls some Pavarti bullshit like that. She's getting kicked out.
Pavarti.
Goddamn.
Yeah, she pulls some nonsense like that. No. I mean, I
Harry
already,
hated Pavarti, by the way.
I make fun of not make fun of it, but like I just find all that nonsense too. Where it's like I see some people post that on Instagram or whatever, where it's like, yeah, I just I'm really out of sorts right now. It's like just I see it on Bumble.
I'm
where
a
a chick will be like,
Sagittarius, dude. Help me
they
through
go
this.
like I'm a rising Aquarius. I'm a moon Virgo, and I'm like
moon
my
unit?
my regular sign is like McDouble, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with this information?
I'm a bacon
Like-
McGriddle. Excuse yourself, you motherfucker.
Dude,
Well, it's like
McGriddles with the
Ugh.
I want to match
had
with one of
one
those
this
chicks
morning.
that has. I want to match with
Lucky
one of those
bitch.
chicks that have like the emojis for like I'm a sun this and a moon that, and like here's my regular sign. And I just want
rising.
to I just want to match with them, and I just want to be like, what does this mean? Like, what does this entail? Like,
s-
oh well, so I'm a sun this, which means that typically I get pissed off when people cut me off on the highway. It's like that's not anything to do with the sign
No.
you have. It's to
You're
do
a
with the
normal
fact
human
that
being that
yeah,
doesn't
well,
like
it's
to
like,
get cut off on the
it's-
highway.
it's astrology, and they're trying to just they want a deeper reason for it other than you're a human and you have emotions and you get pissed off when people hurt your feelings.
Astrology
Like,
is an excuse to be a fucking asshole. That's
I
what it
dated a
is.
girl
It
who-
comes
I
down
dated a
to
girl-
the like same vibe as like
Pretentious.
being like, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's the same fucking shit. Like,
Do not drop a Marilyn Monroe quote here. It's not welcome on the show. That's every MySpace dickhead's fucking
right?
quote.
But that's what I'm getting at. Like, people use
like-
their fucking astrology sign as an excuse to be a fucking piece of shit. Like,
People
oh,
use
well,
all
we're-
sorts of
we're
stuff
this.
like that.
You're not
right?
wrong.
Yeah. Like I dated a girl who was a Gemini, and she's like, yeah, I'm just a bit crazy because I'm a Gemini. I was like, I think you're crazy because
I'm
you're fucking
wild.
crazy. Yeah, I was like, yeah,
I think you're
am
crazy because
so
you have
wild.
daddy issues and a lot of other things going on. Come on now.
That is exact, and I think
Evan
I
goes,
basically
boom.
said, I basically said that back. I was dating her when she said that, and I basically said exactly what he said back to her in a nicer way, and she was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Did you think I was joking?"
Oh my God, Evan, did you tell the story about the Jehovah's Witness girl on the show?
No, but I was gonna make a comment about how like
No,
every
no,
religion's
no,
cool
no,
except
no
if you're a
comment.
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, well,
Oh
fuck
my
them
God.
and
That's
fuck
an
the Mormons
interesting group of people right there for sure.
and the Mormons. Fuck the Mormons.
Oh my god.
And okay,
I,
to
to
If
go
there's a couple-
back,
really
I
quick,
was gonna
real
s-
quick.
I was gonna say
Real
just to go back to what Brody
No,
said
no,
though, where
no,
it's
no.
like,
I'm interrupting. Scientologists, right here.
oh
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom Cruise.
no, don't say that. I want to keep making Mission Impossible. So
I
good.
do want Mission Impossible, but
Then
fuck
shut
him.
up. Shut up. He's a nice dude.
No, he is not a nice dude. He is
No,
like
he is
very
not a
well
nice guy.
documented as being a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, he's
Have you
a
seen
bad
Jack Reacher? He's a cool guy.
Jesus
fictional
Christ.
character. He's
Nah,
a
bro.
bad dude in RL,
He is
dude.
very well documented as being a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he probably
I'd
is.
punch tiny Tom Cruise in his fucking mouth.
Yeah,
He's bigger than you, bro.
No, he's not. How? Wait.
he's
He's
like
5'9".
Is he? No,
Yeah.
he's
He's
like
5'9"?
5'6" or 5'7". He's short.
He's 5'9".
He's down
No, he's
there with
not.
me and Nick.
He's not. He's not no 5'9".
Oh, he is 5'7".
I'd still
I'm
punch him in
sorry.
his
All right,
fucking
Brody,
mouth.
we're jumping Tom Cruise. We're getting sued
Absolutely.
by his lawyers first, but we're
Dog,
jumping
he's
Tom Cruise.
he's nearly 59. He's 60 years old almost, and he
You
still
don't think I'll
looks like
slap the dog shit out of a
he
60-year-old?
literally. He's literally in the best shape of his life still. He hasn't changed a bit since like
Yeah, and I'm a fat
Top Gun.
alcoholic. You think I give a shit?
you're
I-
going to when
I'm
that
not
flying
scared.
fist of fury hits you right in the
If Tom
nuts.
Cruise beats my ass, it'll be like when Jake Paul knocked Tyron Woodley out again. I'll be so
Go-
pissed.
Go to sleep.
I'll be
That
so
knockout
pissed.
was not nice, by the way, guys.
no,
No.
I was like, oh shit.
Oh no,
Wait,
what I was
got
gonna
some hands.
what I was gonna say was like what Brody said, where he's like astrology is just an excuse to be an asshole. It's like people do that all the time. I
for
again,
everything. Everything's
wild
an
thing
excuse
here.
to be a fucking asshole.
wild thing here, maybe it's telling, but I also was in a relationship with a girl who told me on New Year's Day that like New Year, new me, completely different,
Oh,
and I called
fuck.
her out on it right away.
Oh,
I was like, no, you're
Oh,
not.
she sucks. She sucks.
I was like, no, you're not. I was like, you're not changing anything. I was like, you know how long it's been since last year? Literally 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like
You went
nothing
to
is
sleep
different
and
about
woke
you.
up. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You want to
I
hear
mean,
how cool my wife is?
Realistically, if Nick
oh,
didn't
sorry.
invite me, sorry, I was just gonna say, if Nick
Right.
doesn't like, if I wasn't going over to Nick's after, like, I have to do whatever I have to do on New Year's, I
Which
would
you're
literally
coming
just,
over.
I would
didn't
be
get
in
invited
bed.
to Nick's.
I would be in bed at 11:30. I would be asleep by New Year's, and everybody would be waking me up like, hey, New Year. I'd be like, oh, another number added. Wild.
Hey, guess
know, I
what?
don't
It's
care for New Year's. It's nothing
2022
special.
now. Like,
Every
Nothing-
year.
It's nothing special to me. I mean, especially after like the past, 2 pandemic years we've had, where it's like, oh, New Year, is it all magically gone now? No, then leave me alone.
as
Going back to
someone
bed.
as someone who
Yeah.
goes to the gym all the time throughout the week, January and February, the beginning of February usually.
All the
My-
newcomers?
Oh my fucking god, I fucking hate it so
The
much.
fat bodies?
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
I just can't fucking stand it. Like, you could have started this in September. Why are you doing it
They
now?
drop off a month later. Why are you mad?
Yeah, February, but
They
January,
stop coming.
the whole month is awful. You go in there, you're like, I guess I'm just gonna not
using
do
my
anything.
machine.
Yeah, I'm just going home. Fuck you.
Dude, I was like, Perry, dude, it's New Year. She's like, yeah,
Wild.
another
Cool,
fucking New
Hayes.
Year to be miserable. And I went, alrighty. Like, we're fucked.
Nice.
Dude, my wife she's so Taylor Swift dropped a Netflix
Fart.
series fart.
A fart.
I don't
Drop a
I don't
fart.
think Taylor Swift farts.
Swifties are. I mean, they'd be on board.
My wife is a Swiftie.
I
And
would
now
pay.
because of that, I am
That's
a
why I
Swiftie.
said that.
But I also like John Mayer, so it's problematic. But like,
It's literally not. You're making it a problem by saying that.
no, dude, if the
It's
Swifties heard
not.
that I was a fucking Mayer fan as well, they'd
They're
bomb me
so
with snake
angry.
symbols.
It cracks me up that they're angry the way they are. They yelled at
Anyways,
him. I sent you
anyways.
that picture on TikTok
Yes.
where he's like, "POV, you're berating me, and I'm hearing you out," because
I'm
he just got
hearing you out.
flamed. He just got flamed by Swifties when he created a TikTok, and he just posted a picture of him just looking at his phone.
It's
He's
so
like,
fucking.
he's like, I don't know what to tell you.
He's like, I'm just me. I'm John Mayer. I'm fucking 40. Leave me alone.
He's like, I've apologized, and he's like, I've been a good dude, like if he's made mistakes, sure, but I mean, he's been a pretty nice guy about everything else. But yeah, go
Yeah.
on with your Swiftie nonsense.
No.
Stupid. I like John Mayer.
I love Taylor Swift. I really do like Taylor Swift.
I don't have
But
a
anyways,
problem with her.
that's not we're not going in that direction tonight.
We can talk
yeah,
about Taylor
I mean,
Swift and John
we've
Mayer.
gone many other directions. We might as well,
Technically speaking, we were talking about Christmas and we went into religion.
which is
That
fair.
works.
That's fair.
It
They're
works.
completely different. There's nothing even related about this.
You want to hear the story I did bring up to him though?
Oh yeah, to this Rob guy.
Yeah, I to Rob.
We've
Rob,
come
Dude, it
full
was a
circle.
30-minute.
Rob, your name has 3 letters in it. 3 is like the sinner's number. You should probably stop doing what you're doing.
Rob, you're using
That's-
fake
It's not with the
Bosley and
sinner's
it's not
number.
working. He's
Yeah,
using.
none of
he's
it's
using-
yeah. It's how you keep going. It's half of the sinner's number.
You
Therefore,
keep
you
adding
are
on
half a
this, it
sinner.
multiplies, and now you're at 666. I don't know what
Rob?
to tell you.
Oh, hey, same here, buddy. Rob uses Bosley. I have 666 tattooed on me.
Of course you do.
He uses Christian Bosley, and I
Christian
will-
Bosley. What?
They pray, dude.
What?
What he told me is,
Bitch, I've
They-
been bald for the last 8 years. You're telling me
They-
there's Christian Bosley?
dude, Brody, you don't want to do this shit. You
Brody's
don't want
like,
to do this
how have I
shit.
not heard about
They
this? I could have
rub
full head of
dirty
hair.
ass prayer water on his head, and they
What?
pray above him.
That is not how hair growth works.
Brody, my wife is a. I know it's not how it works. Perry told me explicitly it's not how it works.
No.
She's like,
Definitely not how
she's
hair
like,
growth
"Shit,
works.
That's not how hair grows.
All you
But-
fucking dumbasses out there buying like the beard growth oil, that shit doesn't do anything. You're
Dude.
lying to yourself.
Yeah, I can't grow a beard like Brody. I'll never.
It's-
Perry, she broke the news. to me.
genetic.
She's
It's
like,
genetic.
she's like, you'll never have a beard. And I went, thanks, honey. I was like, you don't think it's like under my pores? She's like,
No.
no, sweetheart. And I went,
Not a. No.
guess I'll kill myself. Because I want a beard. I want a
Seems-
beard so bad.
Seems excessive.
Yeah, it
but
sucks for you, doesn't it?
No, I want a beard. I look like a dirty Romanian that got off the boat after 3 days.
Shave,
I mean,
bro.
you-
Shave.
No,
are a
I'm
dirty
not shaving.
Romanian.
I can
Why
grow a
aren't you
fucking,
shaving?
I can grow a mean mustache. That's,
That's
it.
right.
Then get rid of the. I can
No,
see it
'cause
from
I look
here. I
like
can
a
see the
fucking
neck.
The neck
pedophile.
beard? The neck beard thing going
Yeah,
on?
the
The
neck.
neck-
Yeah, fuck. Oh, is it that bad?
I can see it from here.
I can see it.
Oh, I'm shaving tomorrow.
No, it's fine.
No, it's
You can
not.
leave
You
it.
guys have fucked me up.
Ah,
It's
my-
the weird thing about it is that you have the mustache, you have this little soul patch right here. What you realistically
Which
should,
is
you should
fucking
do-
lame.
Just do
you should just get rid of everything else and just do the soul patch to a Marcus
I should get an
Phoenix.
eyebrow piercing. Is what I should get.
You should get just the soul
What?
patch for a Marcus Phoenix, but I mean that's completely different from what I said.
I'm not following the logic.
The
'Cause I'm
weird
lame.
thing about it is that you have the mustache, the soul patch, and then you've got scruff above your jawline, and then you have hair
I don't need
underneath
this, Evan.
it.
I don't.
I'm not
need this.
I'm not roasting you. I'm just saying that's the
It's
weird
a
thing. about
roast.
that.
It,
I mean, yeah, make it a roast if you
it's-
want, but
It's a
facial
roast.
hair is like 99% genetic. Like you can't do anything about
My
it.
dad wakes up with a beard.
I know, but it also the hair genetics come from your mom, I believe, predominantly.
My grandfather also has. I'm not.
I
doing
don't
this
know.
tonight.
I can if I had hair, I could almost
He
connect my
goes, "Let it
beard
go,
to
dude."
my hair. Like I don't know, man. Like I have hair everywhere but my head. That's That's what it is.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so
That's
we
all,
got into a
folks.
conversation. It was this conversation, the whole, would you tell your son, blah, blah. And
Oh yeah,
he got
that's
really
where we
aggressive.
started.
He got really aggressive, and I was like, okay, motherfucker, let's talk about Adam and Eve. And I told him, like, okay, so, like, God. He's like, yeah, God. I'm like, okay. So Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, and God goes, do not eat from this tree. I'm paraphrasing. There's a lot more to the story. Adam and Eve go, okay, yeah, whatever. Eve eats from the garden of Eve. She eats
Yes.
from the one tree she's not supposed to eat from
Yes.
because it grants knowledge.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
He's pissed
so,
off now.
Okay,
Yes.
I do gotta play middleman here, right? Like,
No,
so
that's totally fine.
so the story goes that the serpent tells her that it grants
I was
knowledge.
just about to get to that.
But
I was just about to get
but
to that.
according to what the Bible actually lays out, God never says it grants knowledge. So
No,
according-
God just says
they're-
don't eat from there.
just don't eat from it, and then the serpent comes along to tell it
The
grants
serpent,
knowledge, right?
which
Okay?
is Lucifer,
I'm just
says-
trying to keep everything on par, right?
yes, which we should do. The serpent goes, hey, the big guy up there is telling you not to eat from there, but I'm telling you right now, that tree, if you eat the fruit from this tree, you will gain knowledge that he does not want you to have, which is truth. The serpent is not lying. God doesn't want them to eat from the tree because it is the tree of all knowledge, basically speaking.
Kind of.
From what
right?
I was,
I according to
actually,
yes,
from we're all told.
yes. According to all religions, yes, but there's never any evidence that they gained
No
any
definitive.
knowledge, right?
Yes.
Like, because ultimately it led to, like, hey, everything kind of
They
fucking
live.
sucks now, right?
But they did live.
They have no more knowledge. I mean, I look at half the people I work with, they don't have any more knowledge. They're fucking idiots.
Technically speaking,
Okay.
when God did say that if you eat from the tree, you will die. That is one of the things in that story. It's like, don't eat from this
Eventually,
tree.
yes.
Yes,
It was
you will
not
die.
a definitive, like, right now, but yes.
But they did gain their freedom almost, is what I explained to him. Like, it is the freedom
Yes.
to think, free will,
Right.
is what Eve discovered. It was the free will. He was
Right.
like, no, because she's a woman. But that's what he led with. No,
How-
because she's a woman.
I have so many issues with this guy. Again,
Exactly. And I was like, dude,
how are you
but I
sexist
brought-
and Christian?
I brought the
Like,
story
what the
up
fuck?
only to see. It was like vetting. I was vetting him. I was like, listen, you could take Adam and Eve, the whole story, and really break it down and go, it was a woman who said, fuck you, I'm doing what I want.
That serpent.
Or you can say the serpent is what led them to do it and brought free will. And he went, no, the woman is stupid. I'm like, oh my God, you totally
Adam
fucking
wouldn't do
missed
that?
it.
You think
Adam's
Adam
Oh,
would-
yeah.
Adam's sitting there going, let me get to that fucking fruit first. He's sitting
Yeah,
there
did you-
going, I gotta get there first.
Yeah,
Did you ask
Adam
him?
followed suit without any argument. At least the woman
No.
at least argued, right? Like, Eve at
Yes.
least, like, put up a little bit of a fight. Adam's like, okay.
Adam went,
Like,
will you tell
fuck.
me we're gonna bang after this?
Like, you gonna show me what you got under that fucking leaf coat
Hey, Eve.
thing going
Hey,
on?
Eve.
Like, come on now.
You putting out after this?
Right.
All right, we eating from that tree.
We are simple
It's like-
lizard brain fucking human beings, okay?
Adam's sitting there like, could you hurry up and eat the apple?
Like,
Like,
fucking come
There's only
on
so
now.
long I can keep this semi going, dude.
Right.
yeah. Did you ask Rob? He goes, did you know that the serpent can reproduce asexually?
Oh my God,
did you-
Lucifer
you
can
sh-
fuck himself.
You
Literally.
should have done the Sopranos thing, where you should have been like,
Satan's
that's why you.
cool, dude.
Don't you think it's because of the Adam and
I
Eve
broke
story?
Brody.
Don't you think it's because of the Adam and Eve story of how the snake tempted Eve to bite the apple? Snakes were fucking themselves long before Adam
like,
and Eve. T.
Yes, that was Evan.
You
A
should have
plus.
totally,
Oh my
should have
God.
totally done that.
But I explained
he
to
would
him.
have been so confused.
He goes, Satan's evil. I'm like, why is Satan evil? Because the Catholic Church says so. He goes, Well, I'm like, think about it this way. God goes, okay, you wanted to rebel? Fine, rebel. Have your own lair.
Right.
He gave Satan a lair, Lucifer,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
a lair.
Michael?
I was also told that Satan,
Mm,
Lucifer, and or Angel Michael, Archangel Michael.
no.
Or is that incorrect? Or
That-
was it just Archangel Lucifer?
He is, from my understanding, he is not Michael. Michael, I believe,
Okay.
is said to appear later on at some point. So he is his own
So
fallen
Lucifer
angel,
was just
right?
in. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, because Lucifer is the one who rebelled.
I
basically.
used to
Right.
know what his name supposedly, again, everything is like kind of here or there, right? But supposedly I used to remember what his name was as an angel, and it changed and he became Lucifer. But it was
Wait,
not
I can-
Michael, I know that for a fact.
Dude, I've watched the
For a
Supernatural
fact,
show
again,
a couple times.
according to what I have heard, because I again am not trying to pander
No,
here.
Lucifer
I'm just trying
is
to
correct. Lucifer is correct.
Okay.
Lucifer was his angel name, right?
Lucifer was his angel name, and he did rebel
Okay.
Yes.
and was sent to quote unquote hell.
Okay.
But if you think about it, God went, you know what, dude? Fine, be cool,
Yeah.
have your own place.
Right.
So why is he bad then? Right?
Because they don't understand what they're reading, because they barely understand the fact that it's like they don't understand English, so they barely understand the words that they're reading, just the basic, like what they are supposed to signify,
Okay,
like what
can I
the
say this?
definition is. They
The
don't pay
7
attention,
fallen
bro.
angels' names are so badass.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, they
fucking
are.
awesome.
Moloch, Shamash, Dagon, Belial, Beelzebub, and fucking Satan. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's a full-on metal band for sure. Or
Dude, we should-
7 individual metal bands.
Boys,
Yeah,
we are
really.
starting a fucking black metal band right now. Evan, you're gonna shred, and Brody's gonna shred. We don't need a bassist. We don't need a drummer. It's just sludge metal, dude.
Look at Evan's over there like, I listened to John Mayer.
I guarantee you get Evan drumming,
know,
he'll write black metal.
Everybody gives me shit about it. Not saying you were just then, but
No.
like everybody, like people at my work will be like, my one of the guys at work, he's like, do you like? He's like, when I first met you, he's like, I said, do you like metal? And I said no, and he's like, I asked you what you liked, and you said John Mayer, and he's like, in my head, I laughed, and I wanted to. In my head, I'm
You
going
look
he
like
likes-
John Mayer.
He in my head, he's like, or he goes. I thought it was like. He probably likes Dave Matthews Band, and I looked at him and I was like, I fucking
R.E.M.
hate Dave
REO
Matthews
Attaboy.
Band.
Speedwagon.
Attaboy.
I said, and the guy I work with in the warehouse, he goes, I play him all the time. I was like, oh, I know. I was like, believe me, I know you play him.
Yeah, we
I
can
was
tell.
like,
Don't worry.
I gotta listen to it. I was like, believe me, I know all the weird like shit you play back here, and believe me, Dave Matthews Band is what I hear, and I think about throwing up all the time.
Are we done with religion, boys?
I don't like Dave Matthews Band. That's my religion.
I don't like REO Speedwagon. I don't like
I don't like
REM.
yours. I don't like REM. I don't like REM. I can
REM I
listen
can
to.
Fuck.
REO
You know-
Speedwagon. I'm not a big fan of. I
You
don't
know what
like
I don't like?
OAR.
The motherfucker who wrote the Tarzan soundtrack.
Phil Collins.
I don't like Phil Collins.
What?
He's a douchebag.
What?
What?
A douchebag.
He's a douche.
Why?
You don't like In the Air Tonight?
I like that song. I do like that
Do you
song.
like?
You were
have you
full of
listened to? Have
shit.
you ever heard? Have you ever heard Easy Lover? That's a good one.
I like that. Okay, him as a person sucks.
Shut up, bro.
Him as a person. I don't
He's
like.
actually not that bad if you read his memoir. I have it. I've read about him.
Okay, can we all agree on this before we close the episode off?
Sure.
Lars Ulrich.
Ugh.
No.
Everyone said no.
He's.
Brody
Get
went
fucked. Eh.
Hey, Lars. Lars, you're off time. You're off time. I'll sue your ass into time. That's
Hey Lars, guess what? I stole all your music on Kazaa and LimeWire.
Kazaa. Fuck
doesn't even know those
yes.
When I typed in Metallica
You
on
don't even
Kazaa,
know
it
what
came-
LimeWire is?
I never knew any of these.
you know what
things.
LimeWire is?
Me? No, I don't.
That's
I
how
grew
you
up when I
get
was
the
using
best
iTunes.
computer viruses.
That's how you get the weirdest porn for no reason. You
Or-
type in Teletubbies, and it goes, yeah, cool. Teletubbies next to a red ball fucking. And I'm like, What is this?
You would get LimeWire and you would download a song and you go to listen to it and it'd be like, this song is 100% copyrighted by, and you're like, what the
Dude.
fuck happened? Like,
And you're
goddamn
like,
it.
oh, you're like, did I get my dad in trouble?
I actually did get a letter from Mediacom one time.
Mm-hmm.
One time. That was it.
Julian, my little brother, was torrenting from some place, and he wasn't checking his like seeds and stems, whatever. We got a letter from
Seeds and
WoW.
stems.
Seeds and stems, yeah.
Oh,
Hey
boy.
man, it's not my fault the entire internet uses weed fucking shit. It's really not my fault. But like we got a letter from WoW, our internet provider. They're like, so there's a lot of illegal activity. And Julian, my mom goes, "What did you do?" And he goes, "It wasn't me, don't know what you're talking about." And he slammed his door in front of her. He was stealing AAA games.
Oh, no shit.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Oh, God.
But it was stealing them so good that he was able to make fucking accounts and play them just fine.
Yeah.
He stole WoW. Stole some dude's WoW account. We're not doing this tonight. My brother's name is not Julian.
He stole
It's-
He stole people's accounts.
He stole the accounts through a torrent.
Okay, but did he know that what he was getting was somebody else's?
No, he did not know that. No.
Regardless, you're an asshole. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do not steal shit
do that.
anymore.
No.
Back
You
in
wouldn't
the day, it
download
was
a car.
You wouldn't download a car. Before we
I
could go
could,
on,
I would.
did I would totally download a Tesla. I rode in Evan's Tesla the other day.
For his birthday party, yeah.
Dude, Evan took me on a fucking small ride in his Tesla on my birthday. Whoa.
He got so freaked out when there was a person in a truck on the right lane, and he's like, "You gonna do it? You gonna do it?" And I went and I did it, and he was like, "Wow!" And I was like, "We're only going 45."
There's no noise. There's no noise. Ugh, what the hell is this? There's no. I had something on my tongue.
Chinchilla
There's-
hair.
No, yeah, probably. There's no noise in the Tesla. There is no like. I don't know, like when you like really like tug on a car's balls, and it pulls you back. There's none of that in a Tesla. You just know you're going fast. Like I look, dude, it was driving in this car was life changing.
He was.
I don't care what Jeff has to say. Jeff should be like, "Well, actually, fuck you,
Well,
Jeff."
actually.
That was, and you asked too. You were like, because I showed Nick the autopilot too, and I showed him like
Insane.
I showed him. I turned on the autopilot and I took my hands off for a second because it tells you to put your hands back on, and I took them off and I pulled my legs out or whatever. So there's nothing. It's maintaining speed. It's
Dude,
purposefully steering. And
So
then I was like,
cool.
watch this, and I flicked the signal up to turn right, and I took my hands off the wheel, and you see the wheel
I shit my
shift.
pants. Ask Evan. I shit my pants.
Turned right. Well, you didn't, because that would have been a whole host of problems.
You-
But
you
but,
know what I'm
like,
saying.
yeah, no, he was like, "There's no way." And then you were like, "How old is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's 6 years old." And he
Dude,
was like,
It was insane.
6. Yeah, he was like 6 years old. I was like, he's like, if you were at my house or like you came to my house, I would probably take you out in the newer one just because that's around the area. I know where to go, what not to do, that kind of thing. But like, yeah, no, he really enjoyed it, and our friend Kyle, really enjoyed it too. He's like, that sold me on getting one, being able to ride in one. And I'm like, that's
is
usually what it
actively
does.
Getting one right now.
It's like, well, that's typically what it takes. I mean, if somebody who's interested in it just gets to ride in one, they're more than likely going to be like, oh yeah, I got to do it.
Dude,
So
the-
glad you enjoyed it.
I hop in the Tesla, Brody, and there's this screen. Dude, I felt like I was in Blade Runner. I
He was
literally
so excited.
listen, dude. I am so amped.
He was
I-
like a kid in a candy store. He's so happy.
And dude, my face. I
You
was
have like a
"Whoa."
Subaru Outback, right?
Crosstrek.
Oh,
So I have a
my
lesbian
bad.
car.
Fucking my bad.
My wife literally was like, "You have like the lesbian car."
You absolutely have the lesbian car. Like,
And
no
Brody-
doubt about it.
Before we do have to end soon, but like Brody and all my buddies for my bachelor party hop in my car. I'm trying to start it. It goes. They're like, What's
What did
going on here? I'm
Kyle
like,
say?
What softball
Kyle-
game are we going to?
Brody said that. Kyle goes, "Is your car pissed or something?" I went, "Nah, bro. It just does this from time to time." But my starter exploded. That's why I did that.
Man, that was so
I had
funny.
to break that to a lady I knew. She didn't know that the Outback was like the staple lesbian
Oh yeah,
car.
yeah.
Yeah, I said that to her, and she's like, "I kept going to softball events, and I didn't understand why I was like included as one of the guys." I'm like, "You're driving an Outback." Like,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "You do know that's like the general the internet meme of like lesbian cars, right?" And she's like, "No, I didn't know that." I go, "They probably thought you've been lesbian this entire time, which is cool, but you didn't know
Dude.
that? How did you
Yeah,
not know that?"
My the day before the wedding, we were in Royal Oak, and we are going overtime, and we don't care. We're having such a good night tonight. But
We were like a half an hour overtime
we,
plus the two the
the
half
20
an
minutes we
hour of
had.
fucking bullshit that
but
we
that's
had
why
that
we're going
got
overtime.
deleted.
we had
to make it
we had a rough start.
Yeah, we did.
My wife and her friends pull up to me, Evan, and Matt, and who else was in the car? Evan.
It was actually just you, me, and Kyle.
Oh, is you, Kyle, and I? Okay.
Yeah.
We pull up at a light, and my wife and her friends, her bachelorette party, are next to us, and they're like screaming at our
Mind you,
car.
Prefacing this with, we were at the bar before we did this, and we were like, "Nah."
They hated that bar too. They hated it.
They can hate
We
it all
love
they
that
want.
bar.
They
We
can
love
hate it
that
all.
bar.
They don't know
Trust me.
anything about bars. That's what I have to say. Yeah, but no, this is cracking us up because we're sitting there at the bar and Kyle and I are talking, and Nick comes back. We're like, Kyle goes, "You think we'll see Perry and all of her friends on the way out to go to Matt's house?" And Nick, with full confidence, goes, "No." And then we stop at a light right outside the hotel. No
Yes.
shit. They pulled up, and I was like, "No
Like
shit."
friends.
Yeah. Hey, Perry's here with all of her friends. Remember when you
And
said that wasn't going to happen? That happened.
Harry yells, "Hey, Kaylee says you're driving a lesbian car." Kaylee is bi. And I'm like, that is the I'm like, nuh-uh.
Yeah.
And Evan goes, he looks at me and goes,
Nah.
"Oh yeah, dude." He
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, you are." That's when
Absolutely.
Evan and I had to like eat 7-Eleven food. And I called it chicken
Bro.
pussy and what?
You see chicken cocks and pig pussies.
No.
Pig cock
Chicken,
and chicken
pussy
pussies.
and pig cock. Because we had to eat fucking the tornadoes from 7-Eleven.
I didn't eat that. I ate the hot dog
He ate the hot dogs.
Why
that-
did you
were eating
guys
the
eat
pig
at
cock.
7-Eleven?
because Leo's didn't
Oh my-
work. Leo's didn't
no,
work.
no,
Leo's
Evan.
didn't work. Leo's
Flame
didn't
them.
work.
Flame them right now.
I called them twice and
Coney
they did not
Island
pick
in
up.
Michigan.
This is a 24-hour Coney Island, and we drove past them, and we didn't see like many people in there. So and we didn't want to eat there. We wanted to take
There
it
was
back to the
nobody
hotel.
in there.
And so I called, and they didn't pick up the first time, and they didn't pick up the second time. And then I called the third time, and then she picked up, and she said, "Hello, this is Leo's." And I was so excited and drunk that
Dumb
they
asshole.
answered that I went, and then she put the phone down.
He
And
got
just
so
walked away.
stupid. He got stupid on the
Bro,
phone. He
What
fucked
do
us
you want
on
me to
food.
do? What do you want me to do? Talk? It's stupid.
Dude, Perry and her friends ate gourmet
Yes,
fucking
that's how
food.
phone calls work, Evan.
Shut up,
He was
Brody.
drunk.
This is why you shouldn't have put me in charge.
I was driving.
You can do both.
Not in the state I was in.
Okay, there you go. We should stop talking.
It's because your lesbian car didn't have some onboard shit.
He's
My
got Apple
lesbian car
CarPlay,
has
bro.
balls.
He's got Apple CarPlay. He's got a better audio
Yeah,
system than
what
I
the
do.
fuck? How couldn't you? It connects. Like, what the fuck?
No.
He's just trying to shift
Look
blame
at
'cause
him.
I was
He's like,
drunk.
how do
Oh.
I back myself out of this?
I was
then-
driving.
And then the wedding,
So,
before
if-
the wedding, before
if you-
we were doing everything, ugh, that was all.
They
Like-
were all
a hectic
smoking weed
mess.
during the photos. It was so funny.
I wasn't.
Have
We were
somebody
sitting-
like all you have to do is have somebody plug in the number and you call and you talk. It's
You couldn't
Bluetooth,
figure it
Brody,
out,
man.
bro.
it's not so simple.
It is.
But-
It is
Nah,
that
dog.
simple.
According to him, no, not so much. We
Oh,
had bad
boy.
we had bad alcohol that whole night other than at Gus Lane. Any bar we went to, we were fine. But like when we were at Matt's house, oh, dude, never again am I drinking anything apple related. Like
No,
Crown
they
no.
did
Vanilla.
that before the wedding. They brought Matt's flask and I was like, "What's in it?" And they're like, "Just some green apple like whiskey." I was like, "Do you know the
Ugh.
brand of whiskey?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "How do you
No,
not
that's not
know
good. That's a
what you?"
bad
I was like,
start.
"It's like why didn't you just buy like Jameson or Jack or Crown, just some base, like
Yeah.
just a pint of something and just pour it in there?" Like, well, we don't like Jack, we don't like Jameson, we don't like Crown. It's like, dog, it is literally whiskey. You have to look at the purpose. The
Yeah.
purpose is not to enjoy the taste.
Look
The
at the
purpose
end
for
game here,
this,
right?
yeah,
Like,
the purpose for this flask is not
especially
to
if it's
enjoy.
apple. Like, who gives a shit which apple it is? It all tastes the fucking same anyway.
Oh, yeah,
It's
they were all-
artificial apple mixed with some whiskey. Like, fucking let's get it going here.
Well, that's what that my biggest thing wasn't the whiskey itself. It was the fact that it was. I was like, you should have just bought a whiskey. Like, why would you buy anything like? Oh, it numbs the taste. It's like, no. Once you can taste the apple once or twice and be like, oh, that's strong.
bitter
Like
as
in terms
fuck.
of you can well, you got to deal with the apple taste of it. But when you have a full flask of it, I mean, bro, I basically held onto that thing for dear life because I was like, I need to be as drunk as I can be when I go up here. I was having an anxiety attack for like an hour because I have anxiety about everything, especially when I have to do things in front of people. So like
Poor
I was,
Hassan.
oh, I was so freaked out. But then we got done with it. We ate dinner, and I looked at Josh, and I looked down at the table at
Oh,
you.
Shepard was way too drunk for his own good and high.
I looked at everybody down at the table, and as soon as I saw people get up and I saw people going to the bar, and I was like, my cue, I'm out. Don't ask me to do anything. And then
One of
lo
my
and behold,
best men.
you asked me to do things.
Okay, we'll end it here. One of
Yeah.
my best men was so drunk and high that I had to tell him, like, hey man, why don't you take a timeout?
He was loud, not loud in vocals, but
He
loud
smelled
with the
like weed.
smell.
And
Good
Perry
Lord.
Perry came up and she's like, I don't care this is happening, but you can smell Josh. And I went, what?
Josh.
Well, she was like, you know it's Josh. Because Josh is like bumping into people and talking like, I'm Josh. I'm one of Nick's best men. I'm like, holy shit, this moron is high and fucking drunk. And like, you can smell Josh. He's like, he smells like a pre-rolled joint.
Oh, he was craziest thing is I like that he was going up to people and going, "I'm one of Nick's best men," and if he had done that to me, I would have been like, "We're wearing the same outfit, Josh."
Bruh. Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
I know.
I looked out in the parking lot. I went out for a cigarette, which I don't usually smoke cigarettes, but on my wedding, I was like, fuck it, I'll have a cigarette. I look out and I
We
see
should have had
this like,
cigars. We should have done that.
dude,
I was just thinking about it in hindsight. we
Oh,
should have.
God,
hell
I
had
should have
cigars.
brought some.
Oh,
Fuck.
dude.
Okay,
next time you come.
next time we hang
come
out,
up.
we'll smoke
I will
cigars. We'll
bring
smoke
cigars
cigars.
with me next time for sure.
We will
Sure
smoke
thing.
cigars.
I got some for Christmas, so
Oh, yes.
my god, Brody, let's do it. I have some Cubas
Yes.
at home.
I
You're at
got the
home.
little stubbies because I enjoy those. A
I'll
full
smoke a
blown
cigar with you.
I like stubbies.
Yeah.
I
I'll
like
smoke
stubbies.
The
stubby.
full blown cigar is too much. That's way
Yeah.
too long.
Yeah, let's do some stubbies.
Yes. I'll bring
But Josh and all my friends, I look out and I go, that plume of smoke looks oddly thick. And then my mom goes, that's weed smoke. And I went, shut up, Mom. And I'm like,
Shut
Mom,
up,
that's
Mom."
weed smoke. She goes, I'm going inside. Dude, it was just full blown weed smoke from the fucking parking structure.
Oh my god, it was nonsense.
Weed smoke has a very specific like look
Texture.
and obviously smell, but like good God, I mean it is. There's no mixing that up.
Dude, it was full blown weed. I was like,
Yeah.
damn. But it was like a mix. It was like actual weed, vape, and a bong. Because my little brother,
What?
Julian,
Yeah.
brought a bong.
It's all nonsense.
So they're smoking a bong,
Did
a
he-
joint, and a fucking vape in the parking lot.
Did he bring the
fucking
same
fiends.
goddamn chemistry set that he brought to your or to Matt's house for
Bachelor
the bachelor
party?
party?
Yes.
This dude brings the Walter White chem set anywhere
Yeah.
he goes. It's like, dog,
Julian
what?
is like a fucking weed salesman. He goes, and by the way, check this line out. And I'm like, what? Like, what is this? What the fuck?
We had that going on multiple
I
times.
don't even know
on
how
your
to
bachelor
smoke
party.
that.
I walked out after I was in the bathroom, and I walked out, and I see Brody and Connor standing over the table outside. Nick's sitting there like the fucking Romanian bastard he is, just hunched over in a tracksuit watching the soccer game on a little
I
mini
was
phone.
watching a soccer game, yes.
You were.
Oh.
And I come out and it's like the Devils. Connor's holding a bottle of Jameson and Brody's holding a bottle of Crown Royal Vanilla, and I'm holding a bottle of Jack. I'm like the three wise men.
And you have
Here
me
we
smoking
are.
a cigarette going, it's good game, it's good game.
Here we are.
I forgot to tell you, for Amber's birthday, we went into Target because she likes to go
Yeah.
shopping on her birthday. Lego made a tracksuit, and I was this fucking close to buying that shit and making
Oh
a
my
full-blown photo shoot to send to you.
You want to go bowling, dude? Let's go.
Dude.
Hey, cousin Nick, you want to go bowling?
Cousin Brody, I do.
That would have been so funny, dude.
Oh my god. I mean, it was like this navy blue with like yellow, red, and white fucking shit on. I'm like,
That's
oh
beautiful.
my god, it's so
I
awful.
would've cried.
But I absolutely want to buy this right now.
I would have cried.
It was good
Tears from a
shit.
Slav.
Oh,
Boys,
we gotta wrap this up. We
first and
could go
foremost,
all night for sure.
I'm going to do the meme. Boys, can you hear me? Secondly, yes, I'm congested. What the fuck?
Yeah, me too.
We do need to wrap up. Is there any last things anyone wants to hit on, and we'll talk about, or are we good to go?
I'm good.
I'm good, man.
You're good. All right, guys. Fuck. OBO. You can catch OBO live every Monday, 9:30. Hopefully,
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
usually,
Usually.
usually you catch us live every Monday at 9:30 on Twitch and YouTube. The audio version of the podcast goes live on Tuesdays at 5 a.m.
Way
OBO
too
is
early.
usually, yes. OBO is hosted by the graceful, beautiful hosts of Diggity Podcast, which is Jeff and Brody, or Brody and Jeff, however you want to do it, and Nick and Evan of the WASD and Beyond podcast.
Brody looks so pissed.
No, I'm good.
I will say this right now. We are going to be doing a bit of a show change. It is only going to be myself, Evan, Brody, and Jeff from now on. Matt is going to be sticking to WASD and Beyond. But don't worry. Crazy stories no matter what, as you heard tonight. It was just Evan, myself, and Brody, and it was awesome, insane, and fun. So you're not missing much. We love you, Matt, but fuck you. You suck. We
He's
love
never gonna
you.
listen to this. He'll never listen to it. You're good.
Yeah.
Your blonde, peanut-headed, Goomba-looking ass. You suck.
I'm gonna hear him tomorrow after work, and he's gonna be like, "Well, now that I'm not on the show anymore, I figured I'd actually give it a listen."
No,
And
no,
I'm gonna
don't.
be like, I'm gonna be like, "Great."
Great.
Like,
No, but for
like,
real,
have you
Matt
gotten
is
through it? No. Okay, then don't finish it.
Matt is hopping off OBO, and he will be sticking to WASD and Beyond. So expect myself, Evan, Brody, and Matt, Jeff. Sorry, holy shit, we've been drinking and talking.
I've only had 2 drinks, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been going hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
So
doing pretty
expect
good.
that from now on. You know, you might hear Matt from time to time, but maybe not.
What?
You might not. He's lazy. WASD is myself.
It's like a Game of Thrones plot.
He's lazy. WASD is myself, Evan, and Matt from time to time. Called out. And yeah, WASD goes live every Wednesday and Friday at 7 a.m. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. Brody,
Good night.
sail us away.
So Diggity, Jeff and I
I
are.
called you and Diggity out.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you didn't give us the same plugs that you
Fine,
gave yours,
fine,
right?
fine.
Huh?
Step aside. Step aside. Step aside.
Every Thursday night at 9:30
Step
we go
aside.
live on
Step
Diggity.
aside. I got this. I got this.
Oh, you
He
got
already
it.
said
Diggity
it.
pod. Oh yeah, I got this.
Okay.
The-
My bad.
All right. Step aside. The Diggity Podcast. Every Thursday, the Diggity Podcast goes live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and Twitch. That is hosted by Jeff and Brody.
Brody and
On
Jeff.
Fridays, they go with the audio versions at 5 a.m. Boom.
There it is.
Video game news and video game topics, boys. Let's check it out.
Screwed up the order of the names again, but we'll take it.
I said Diggity.
You said that's not. Ooh, wow.
I got
You
you.
need to
I
go
got
ahead.
you, Evan.
Brody,
Got
see
you.
us out.
Brody's got it, yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Tell everybody you know about this, even if you don't think they'll like it. I don't care. I want the listens,
love
and and we appreciate it. But we will see you next time.
Before you end it, Brody, hail
Yes.
Satan and hail whatever you believe in.
Jesus.
Whatever you
Oh.
believe in. Yeah, I like it. I like
There
it.
you go. There you go. I love you guys.
Everybody love everybody.
Yes. ELE.
Bye.